Welcome, one and all. It's match day. It's an hour and 5 minutes before the match kicks off. And as ever, I do not know the team. You probably do. I know there's a lot of you lot who are in the know, aren't you? I'm not in the know. I'm definitely out of the know. But I'm going to learn the team lineup, au naturel, if you like, by reading it when the teams are announced in 5 minutes. So, where's Gio today, I hear you ask? We'll get to that in just a minute. Let me tell you the order of events. First of all, we're going to have a little chat about the game. Secondly, we're going to read out the teams, both teams, actually. If we're lucky, both benches, then we're going to have a little bet. Now, because Gio is away today, the bet will probably be slightly more unrealistic than it usually is. But if it wins and if it comes in, because you lot are going to help me compile the bet, basically. And if it wins, somebody, possibly even two people, are going to win hopefully a sizable amount of money. I don't think it'll be too unrealistic. All we're going to do is try and guess the scoreline, guess the goal scorers, and try and hopefully make that a little bit interesting. Then we'll be getting some of your comments. We'll be reacting to what happens in the team. Then I'm going to try and convince you to download Match Bingo. Then we'll get your score predictions. And then shortly after that, Charlie will be along to talk you through the watch along, which hopefully will be an emphatic victory for West Ham. But as I say, you have me at a disadvantage here because I do not know the team for today. This is quite important because let me tell you what I would do before I find out what is actually happening. What I would do is I would rest some of the players, but not for all of the game. If I could try and get my key players today, and when I say key players, obviously you're looking at Kudus, you're looking at Bowen, Edson Alvarez, obviously Paquetá. Funnily enough, I actually do think that Mavropanos has become sort of increasingly important, actually, as our only working centre half. I'll be trying to get some of my key players sort of 45 minutes if I could. Certainly be looking to make some substitutions on 60 minutes. And I think it'd be really, really good if he leaves one or two of his favourite ones out of the starting lineup. I know it's a Premier League game. I know it's important. And I'm going to say this now, but they are bottom of the Premier League. And they're obviously going to be bottom of the Premier League for a reason. I don't wish to insult them, but if I spend too much time trying not to offend Burnley, I'm going to pretend that it's just going to be some even contest. It really shouldn't be. West Ham should be beating Burnley. They've struggled this season. I suspect Vincent Kompany will probably turn out to be a good manager, but probably not this season. It's probably a little bit of a step too far from him. So I expect David Moyes will park the bus, but I do expect it to be an effective strategy. If anything, Moyes is probably looking at this bunch and thinking, well, hold on. If anybody is going to play into my hands and suit my tactics, it's this lot. So I would think in this game, more than any other, Moyes will sit back and try and hit them on the counter-attack. Anyway, we're going to be revealing the team in just a second, so I'm going to be ferociously kicking buttons. I'm on my own today, so I've got to work all these windows and I've got everything popping up here. As I say, Gio is not here. Gio's actually gone to Hollywood. Who would have thought that? He's actually gone to the Oscars ceremony to see Ryan Gosling, who is singing I'm Just Ken, and apparently a live performance at the Oscars. He's not going to the Oscars. He's just going to sort of hang around where the red carpet is in the hope of getting a glimpse at Ryan. Of course, Ryan Gosling, who I think he's up for an Oscar nomination himself for his portrayal of the role of Ken in the hit Hollywood movie Barbie. So, yeah, you've stuck with me today. No Gio. Anyway, I think what we're going to do right now is have a look at the team. So, a little refresh. Do you know what? It is here. Sorry, I was just about to slag off West Ham, but I won't. It's there. It's on time. Here is the team to face Burnley. Alphonse Areola in goal. Vladimir Soufal at right back. Konstantinos Mavropanos, the man with the best name in football, is playing at right centre back. Naifur Gerd returns from wherever he was, whether he was injured or just, I don't know, might have just been out. He might have gone to Hollywood himself. He's back. I think that's a good thing as well, which answers the question, is he going to rest Kurt Zouma? The question is yes, because Zuma's on the bench. A little spoiler for you there. Aaron Cresswell. Now, he is playing at left back, and there is no, as far as I can see, there's absolutely no Emerson on the bench at all. So Emerson's still injured, obviously. He walked off the pitch, which I think is key. Walking off is definitely better than being carried off the pitch in the midweek game against Freiburg. And so Phillips starts in midfield. Phillips starts alongside captain Big Sue, Potato Salad Thomas Souček. Captain Souček. There we go. Ward-Prowse starts in midfield, and then we have the three musketeers up front, which is Lucas Paquetá or Paqueta, however you fancy saying it, Mohamed Kudus and Jared Bowen. So there you have it. There you have the team. Areola, Soufal, Mavropanos, Gerd, Cresswell, Phillips, Souček, Ward-Prowse, Paquetá, Kudus, Bowen. I think the three big stories here is obviously that Zuma has been dropped, which is right. Dropped. He's been rested, hasn't he? It's that whole 2 games a week thing. That Alvarez has been rested, and that Emerson appears to still be injured. It's scrolling across the bottom of your screen now, and above the scrolling lineup at the bottom of your screen is our poll. We're running a poll. So in about half an hour, when Charlie comes and joins us, he will tell us the results of the poll. How do you feel about the starting lineup? I don't know how Charlie might have phrased this. Are you happy with it? Are you disappointed? Are you angry? Are you fruity? How are you feeling about that starting lineup? That's how we want to know. That's what we want to know, should I say. I'm pretty confident about today. It has to be said. But look, I said just a minute ago, I do expect David Moyes to play his normal style of football. He's not going to change now. I mean, he had a little attempt at changing his ways, didn't he? Start of last season, it didn't work too well, and he pretty quickly reverted back to type. So it's always been the frustration, isn't it? I think with David Moyes that, yeah, whilst you might understand him playing defensive and parking the bus against Man City or teams like that, you often wonder why we do that against the likes of Burnley or Sheffield United or something like that. But anyway, so there you go. That's where we have it now. I'm actually pleased to see him resting a couple of players. I say resting a couple of players. Realistically, if you look, who's he actually resting? I think it's only Alvarez. Would that be fair? Because you just can't. It's not even an option, I don't think, with Zuma. Zuma can't play 2 games a week. He was rolling around on the ground, clutching his, I don't know why I'm laughing, clutching his knee, basically pointing his knee, saying, what he's done to my knee was, so I don't think you've got a choice. I think you have to rest Zuma. Emerson's injured, so I think the only person he's really resting is Alvarez, but that's some form of rotation, I guess, isn't it? I think if you were, let's just say this now, but we'll get your thoughts after we've done a bet and stuff like that. I think there's 2 things. I think, firstly, if you were, let's just deal with Ben Johnson now. I think if you were Ben Johnson, you'd be pretty miffed at the moment. When we faced Liverpool, there was no doubt about it. And, they thumped us 5-1 or whatever it was. When we faced Liverpool in the League Cup, there was no doubt about it. Ben Johnson was our second choice left back. And because he played left back in that game, played well. Remember, we got a curled left-footed assist for Jared Bowen's goal. And I think it's fair to say now he is no longer first choice left back. And I think Johnson's put in some pretty fair performances in there. And I'm just looking at this now thinking, is this it? Because Johnson won't sign a new deal. It's almost like a Mexican standoff here, isn't there, really, where Johnson's saying, look, until you give me the wage, until you give me a chance in the first team, I'm not signing a new contract. And I just wonder if David Moyes is now saying, well, you're not signing a new contract, I'm not putting you in the first team at all. It's actually remarkable. I think despite his good form, like in December and that, when we had no players, and then we got to January, and then Kudus went off the African Cup of Nations, Paquetá was injured. We were decimated. We didn't really have many players. And he started playing Johnson in several positions. For me, watching it as a fan, I thought Johnson's stock had raced. I thought he made himself more of an option. It must be quite weird for Johnson, because I think probably despite all of that, it looks now like he's even less of an option. So despite him playing well, he's fallen further down the pecking order. The other thing would be Antonio. I'm looking at that now, and Antonio's thinking, with West Ham got 2 games a week, we're playing the bottom of the table team who don't have a great defence, and Antonio can't get a start now. And I think Antonio would probably be thinking, right, okay, this is where I am. I do hope he makes some. I hope we get a lead. I hope we get a healthy lead, and I hope David Moyes can make some substitutions. I really do. So anyway, there you go. Aside from the team, I don't mind the team at all. I actually would have probably rested Alvarez for this one as well. I might have done a couple more. I probably would have rested Paquetá. particularly Europe's really important. I'd like to think we could beat this Burnley team without having all our best players, but still having some good players on the bench. I would have started Antonio in this one. But hey, what do I know? I am not the manager. As you know, I'm just a bloke sat in his shed talking about football and looking for his bits and pieces so he could do the bet. Right then. We're going to do a little bet, but before we do that bet, what I want to do is point you in a direction of today's sponsor for this video, which is Match Bingo. It's up there. So there you go. Sort of it. So hard. I'm working in reverse here. Match Bingo. Great app there. If, like me, you're going to see how much I struggle to make a bet in a minute when I do the bet and the phrase that pays. Match Bingo is basically, it puts bingo together and football and gives you a bingo card. Now, let me just make the point here, because they've always, on every game week, there's a free-to-play game. The free-to-play game this week was Everton and Manchester United, which, of course, happened yesterday. But this game week, I've actually got, it's £2 to play this game, and you get a little bingo card. So today, you've got to get, you see there's different lines there. One line pays out £25, two lines pays out £50, a full house pays out £100, and then there's another bonus pot of another full house for £100. Lots of people have been winning this stuff, and I mean loads of them. We're up to 8, and I mean 8 people that have admitted it. Oh, hold on a second. Thank you very much, Jamie. Make that 9 people who have actually won now on Match Bingo. There's free-to-play games, but even if you play the pay-to-play games, that's harder to say than I thought, you still can't run up loads and loads of bills. It's only £2 a game. I've got to, it's funny, it did make me laugh, right? Because one of the things I've got, so you have to complete a line. So for me to complete this bottom line, let me tell you what's got to happen. We've got to have an attempt off target for West Ham. So hopefully Antonio does get onto the pitch at some point. We've got to be caught offside, which is a shame Maxwell Cornet's not playing. There has to be a goal in either the 6th minute, the 16th minute, the 26th minute, the 36th minute, the 46th minute. You get the point. Anything with a 6 after it. A Burnley keeper, which is a James Trafford, has to make an attempted save. And it has to be a corner awarded. And that just gets you one line. You just have to claim it. Look, it's a really, I find betting quite complicated. It's really easy. Give it a go. The link is in the description below. They're good people. It's really. I saw the amount of people that are winning money the other day. I was thinking, how are these people making any money? But anyway, that's not my concern. Go and check it out. That's interesting. Actually, I didn't know that. Nick said the Liverpool game later is 2 £500 pots. Yeah, as they're growing, because they're a new company, Match Bingo. As they're growing, the pots are getting bigger as well. So yeah, really, there was one of us like £1,000 out of like £1,075 pot. Anyway, that's that. Thank you very much, Match Bingo. Thank you for indulging me while I try and convince you to download that app. Let's now turn our attentions to doing the match bet. So here's how the match bet works. The match bet is totally separate from what I just did. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put some money down. You don't need to pay any money for this. All you've got to do to be involved is help me out with this bet. And then all you got to do is basically put in the chat the phrase that pays, which we don't know. Well, I've got an idea what the phrase that pays is going to be, but you don't know that yet. We need to do a slightly extravagant bet, I think, because otherwise it just doesn't come in. Well, it doesn't come in, but it's not worth it. It's not. I don't want to hand you. I want to hand you a few £100. That's the point. So first of all, what I want, do you know what? I'm going to do it here. This is exactly what I want. I'm not going to take the Kudus bit. Right, but what Steve has done here, I'm going to take that, Steve. I'm going to take that 3-1, and I'm going to put that in the bet. And I'll tell you why I'm going to put that in the bet, because that was also my prediction, and it was you're the first person to put a scoreline in the chat. I can see. I wasn't looking at the chat at the start, because I'm reading out the team and stuff like that. This has made me laugh from Dan, which is a Cresswell red card. I hope not. Oh, is this right, Josh? Is this correct? Says Skulls is out of a back injury for possible 6 to 8 weeks. I didn't know that. Right. So what I'm going to do is what I'll do as well, because that was Steve. I'll put on the 3-1, and I will do a Souček goal. What I'm going to need, I think, from you guys, whilst I'm typing, I'm not typing it, whilst I'm entering that, I think not only do I need a Souček, I said Souček. I'm going to do 3-1. I'm going to do a Kudus goal. Because even a 3-1 is just 12 to 1. That's not enough. We really need to boost this up. So I'm going to do a Kudus goal. I need a scorer. and I need some of the cards. I'll just tell you how I'm thinking. I'm actually already thinking Lucas Paquetá, so it'd be just interesting to see what you think here. Right, so we got 3-1. We're going to put Mohamed. I hope we're going to put Mohamed Kudus in. That's if I can't even bloody find him. Do you know what? We were doing this the other day, and they hadn't actually listed all the players. I could choose Kurt Zuma. This is a bit naughty. Oh dear. No, he is there. Sorry, it's just me being bloody useless. Right then. Okay, so give me another goal scorer. Phillips booking. I really like that. Johnny Mack. I know there's a few of you have said it. Johnny Mack, Phillips booking. I'm actually going to go and put that in here right now. It's I've got to make sure I don't do sent off. I always get this bloody wrong, and that's why the odds look so bloody good. But I'm just doing a booking here. All we've got is a booking for Phillips. Where is he? Someone stole him. And then I'm going to need another goal scorer. So I'll be going back to that screen in a second. And I may well take a third goal scorer if it's not particularly good odds. Right, so there's a Phillips booking there. Oh, it's starting to get really juicy now. It's starting to get really juicy. All right, give me another goal scorer. Oh, Cullen goal. I'm going to do it. Peter Chelmsford, is he starting? We have to do that in a second. Sorry, I've gone lopsided. If Cullen's starting, Charlie, I'll tell you what, I've done this lopsided, mate, because I've got to be a little bit carried away. If Cullen is starting, there you go, thank you. We've got the Burnley line up there. We've got Trafford, Vitinho, O'Shea, Steve. They got someone called Steve. We know about this guy. Taylor, Assignon, Burge, Cullen. Okay, right, Cullen's in there. I'm going to do it. I am going to put Cullen in to score a goal because I think this is only fair as well. We're going to get to the West Ham suspension a little bit. Bloody hell. That's boosted it a little bit. Right, okay. And we want one more West Ham goal scorer. Souček, Mavropanos goal. Johnny Mack, we've already taken one of your suggestions. These are all good suggestions, actually. This is tough. This is tough to know, actually. There's some really good There's a few people saying Mavropanos. All right, I'll do it. I'll do Mavropanos. It's going to be even more unrealistic. But you know what? This is an unrealistic bet anyway. So let's put, crikey, let's put Mavropanos in there. Let's, you have to excuse me. Let's add that to the bet slip. My bloody word. Place bet. Right, I'm placing the bet now. Okay, right, that's done. The bet is placed. Right. This is a really unlikely bet. Let me tell you what the bet is. Here is the bet. The score will be 3-1. Kudus scores. Phillips to be booked. Josh Cullen to score. And Mavropanos to score first. I don't know. Look, that's just what I did. All right. I can't undo it now. It's already done. I was clicking a lot of buttons. So for that to happen, we need a phrase that pays. And what I'm going to do here is we're going to have play on words. The phrase that plays is always a play on words. And it's Hayden. It is a banker, my friend. But I've got to say 2 people will win £500 if that comes in. All right, 2 people, £500. The phrase that pays is Moyes is good company. Moyes is good company. That is the phrase that pays. All right. That's the phrase that pays. I'll wait for the first person to type that out. It's a play on words. Mr. Collingwood is there. He's like Clint Eastwood. He's like Clint Eastwood, Mr. Collingwood. Wow. I mean, it's very, very quick. Moyes is good company. That is the phrase that pays. If you just come in now, why is everybody typing Moyes is good company in the live chat? I'll tell you exactly why. That's because we placed the most unrealistic bet. West Ham to win 3-1. Mohamed Kudus scores any time. Phillips to be booked. Josh Cullen scores any time. Mavropanos scores first. If that happens, 2 people who have typed the phrase Moyes is good company, just like lots of people are typing in there, right? Just like everybody is there. 2 of those people that have typed that lovely phrase that pays will win £500. I do apologise. I clicked the wrong thing. Mavropanos to score first. Do you know what? The irony is it didn't really matter. It still would have been such ridiculous odds. But John, it doesn't roll off the tongue easily. But I am expecting at some point somebody to say, I can't believe, Gonzo, that you think that David Moyes is good is good company. So the other day, so as many of you will know, regular watchers will know, I have been I started swimming 2 or 3 weeks ago. It was whatever. And basically me starting swimming coincided with our first win in a while. So you lovely subscribers basically decided in your mind that the reason that we'd started winning was because I had gone swimming. So then I went swimming again. I went swimming for the Everton game again. Of course, I went swimming. We won. All right. So anyway, everyone was saying you've got to make sure you go swim before the Freiburg game, which I did. I went swimming before the Freiburg, and it became a bit of fun. It became a bit of a laugh, right? So I went swimming before the Freiburg game. We didn't win. Obviously, we lost. Me and my old man did a little next day review on it, and he pointed it out, and he said, "Oh, you don't have to go swimming again, do you?" And I said, as a joke, "He's ruined my swimming career. David Moyes has ruined my swimming career now, right? He's ended it." I put that on a title, and it was a joke, right? It was a joke, right? Basically, West Ham lost to Freiburg, and David Moyes has stopped me going swimming anymore. It was a joke. Somebody had a go at me for it. Somebody said, "I don't know how you can seriously say you don't even." They said you don't even know you would have a swimming career anyway. You're probably a little bit too old for it. And I think, how dare you say that? And had it I would have thought it was a joke. Had he have not said a load of other horrible stuff as well. So I'm quite prepared for somebody to say. I'm quite prepared for somebody to say, Gonzo, David Moyes is not good company. Anyway, right, Connor, what are you saying? What are you saying here? Because I see you've typed this a few times. Let's not deny you your point of view. We're going to do some comments now. I want to know. I make sure you voted in that poll for Charlie. By the way, every time we kick off, whenever we start a half or concede a goal, our tactics are pass it, centre back, and launch it forward. Yes, you're absolutely right. It's every single kickoff. Yes, not just that, Connor. I don't think it's ever worked. I don't think it's ever worked. Should we see if Charlie's listening? Charlie, can we have the West Ham bench, please? He's gone. He's gone. I reckon he's in the Kazi. I hope he switched his microphone off. I'm going to read you the West Ham bench now because we didn't read it earlier. On the bench for today, so obviously the teams are scrolling along the bottom. It's Areola, Soufal, Mavropanos, Agurd, Cresswell, Phillips, Souček, Ward, Prowse, Picasso, Kudus, Bowen. We know that Emerson's injured. That much we know. Zuma can't play 2 games a week, and Edson Alvarez having a rest. He's been rotated, whatever you want to call it. So the bench is Fabianski, Johnson, Zuma, Antonio, Ings, Alvarez, Ogbonna, Earthy, Bummer. There we go. And the Burnley lineup, as you can see there, is Trafford, young, as Sat said earlier, young Trafford, not old Trafford. That's young Trafford. Vitinho, O'Shea, Steve, Taylor, Assignon, Burge, Cullen, Odobert, Larson, and Fofana. There you go. Look, come on. Let's be perfectly honest here. I want your views now, boys and girls in the chat. It's all right, Major. I didn't expect him to. It was me that mucks up. Totally me that mucks up. I was meant to do it in order. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, doesn't matter. I want to know what you lot are thinking about this now. So let's start with Jordan. That's a cool dog, Jordan. He's a cool dude dog. So it's worked. Second half against Huddersfield in Moyes' first hit. Did it? Long ball over to Marko Arnautovic and boom. Why I remember? Yeah, it's a serious memory, mate. That is a serious memory. Okay. So it worked in his first. I trust you. I trust you. I trust your dog. Put it this way. I like that. Anyone remember that? Remember the KP nuts behind the bar on a bit of cardboard? Doug says, "Hello, Doug." He says, "I'm sure he borrowed the glasses off the dog." He said, "I'm sure we will win. I'm sure we'll make it hard work of it." Yeah, I hope not. I hope not. Yeah, yes. Isn't it funny? Because Connor's just written sort of, wow, it worked 7 years ago. I wonder if that's it when he's got that's on the iPad. That's on Kevin Nolan's iPad, isn't it? Well, it will work sometime again. Did you notice that Freiburg did it against us? Did you notice that when they kicked off against us? Steve. Hello, Steve. If Moyes won't properly rotate against this opposition, when is he ever going to? Here's the thing, Steve, and I'll just say this. Well, only have we got the smallest squad in the Premier League and the second oldest. there's actually players in this squad Moyes won't use. It would be, I'm not saying it would be okay, but it would be understandable if we had the smallest squad and David Moyes used them all. But he doesn't. There's some he just won't use. This is as rotating as it gets, really, I think. Dan said Freiburg moised us a bit. We were moisturised, weren't we, Dan? We certainly were. This is just more of the same. This is just more of the same. This is what was happening earlier on in the season. He couldn't play Sunday and Thursday. AS said Cornet cough. It's not that Cornet is out with a cough. It's AS is suggesting that's one of the players that Moyes just won't use. Shame, because we match bingo scorecard might have come in. Maybe optimistic, but I do think we'll get early subs today if the game goes well. I hope so, Callum. I hope so. And by the way, I just want to, I do think we're going to win today. I really, really do. We'll do your you lovely lots winning predictions and all the rest of it in a little bit, as I'm sure so many of you will predict us to win. Moyes will play South versus Man City. Yeah, this is it. He's not changing now. He had a little flirt with it last season, didn't he? And that's it. That's what we got. That's what Moyes does. Elbow says, I see that Moyes' contract looks certain because his son Moyes Jr. has just been made his cut. Has he? No, he hasn't. Has he? I've been away, so I don't know. I went down to the seaside yesterday. That's why I didn't upload on the forum channel. I had a day off, went out Friday night and went out down the seaside, went out to Christchurch. Very nice. Thank you very much indeed. Took mum out for a Mother's Day meal yesterday. I hope that's not true, by the way, that Elbow just said. He maybe having to go 3-0 half time, make changes. Yeah, I don't know. Chris says, why did he buy Cornet? That's what he does. No, it's only one or two things. Either what Moyes does, you could say the same about Vlasic, or he didn't buy Cornet. Who knows? Who knows? Yes, there are, Doug. Earthy is on the bench. Let me just double check that for you, mate. Earthy and Mubama. Yeah, so... Yeah, I mean, we're not going to see them, are we? Unfortunately, mate. Let's have a look here. Luke says, Phillips have a good game today, but Cresswell and Souček will let side down. I see a draw. No. A draw will not be good enough. Not at all. If we've looking at the coefficient and all the rest of it, and I don't study it, but I know for everything to go well, everything has to go well for Premier League to get eighth to be Conference League football, and it ain't going well, is it? So it looks like 7th. If we want to finish 7th, we can't afford to draw today. Anyone explain why Alvarez isn't playing? Yeah, look, yes, I think I can. I would have rested him for today, Joe. And one more, he can't get another suspension, basically. So I think he's resting him for today. So I think he's accumulated loads and loads of yellow cards. He's also really going to need him. He plays all the time at the moment. I would have rested him for today. If you can't, I think, look, we've signed Phillips as defensive midfielder. We're paying him an absolute fortune. If you can't play Phillips today in this match and rest Alvarez, then we really are in trouble. So yes, I don't mind. I don't mind him doing that. I would have done the same myself. Today has to be an entertaining, convincing win. We played poor against Sheffield United. We did. We've seen several teams have gone and beat them. Yeah, but this is true. What Lewis is saying, and I completely agree. We showed Sheffield United too much respect, far too much respect, and yeah, that is definitely an accusation I would make against Moyes. All I would say is, I think these tactics probably suit Burnley more than they do Sheffield United. I would agree, Steve, by the way. I do think it's going to be another hard watch. I think you're absolutely right there. What else have we got? Moyes' son has been with the club since October. It's a non-story. Okay. Thanks, Alex. I didn't know that. Yeah, because that makes a difference, doesn't it? If he's been here for a long time, then there's nothing really in it. If he's just appointed him, it would indicate Moyes is here for next season. So that is important. That detail is important. I would also suggest, actually, reading between lines, it is only a scout, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's only a scout. Doesn't his brother work for the clubs? I mean, but they've all been at it. They're all at it. I don't know. Remember Husilos's son was here. Pellegrini's son was here. Alex Stighton's brought his brother over. I mean, it is jobs for the boys at West Ham, isn't it? There's definitely seems to be the case. Johnny says, I hope the players look up for it a bit more today than they did the other day. And okay, so AS is replying to to Joe, who asked about Alvarez, said 1 yellow and he misses Villa and Spurs. So because it would be his second card for his second ban for a cumulative yellow cards. Before, once you get the build up of yellow cards, you miss one game. If you're double naughty, you're basically an extra rung up the naughty step. The next naughty step up, you miss 2 games. So yeah, that is quite important. I mean, when we do have some tough games coming up. Callum says Cornet was 100% Sullivan. Look, we never know 100%, but as I remember it, we wanted Keane Lewis Potter and we didn't get him. And I do think that happens. It's the same with Abir Eze. Remember, we wanted Abir Eze and we didn't get him. And then I think what happened is when we didn't get Moyes' choice and Sullivan goes and gets his, which at that point was Ben Rama. The kids won't get minutes, so what's the point? I think he's just filling the bench. I think that's it. I think possibly there are no more seats. This is how small the squad is. Unless I'm mistaken, there are no more. Cornet's not fit. Emerson's not fit. There are no more senior players fit. You could argue there are senior players on the bench that aren't actually fit. Right, I'll tell you what. I think it's about that time. I'll do a couple more comments here. Don't post any more comments yet. Start posting your score predictions, please. Thank you, Mr. Collingwood. You said we are third in the coefficient at the moment. When Brighton go out, it'll be even harder to recover that. Yeah, so we need to be first in the coefficient. I say we, the Premier League. England needs to be. And tougher Brendan C says it has to be a 2-goal cushion at least, or it will be a poor performance. This is do you know what? I care not for performance in this one. What I do think this is an opportunity for is to try and sort that goal difference out, which took an absolute hammering. There we go. It did. I need to claw it back. Terence says, good afternoon. Gonzo, Gio and Charlie. I'm going 4-0. And don't forget your match bingo got 3 cards today. Yeah, we done, Terence, we've done the match bingo, mate. We are we're all match bingoed up. I hope you've got yours in, my friend. But thank you for reminding us. I hope you enjoy the game too, matey. This is interesting, actually. I am interested in this coefficient stuff. Gio is much better at this stuff than I am. He said, Callum said, with the coefficient, we could potentially have English winners of every competition. City, Liverpool and Villa. So I think we'll be okay. That could well be the case, couldn't it? That really could well be the case. Yeah, anyway. I don't mind. I don't mind any of those teams winning. I think that'd be good. And I'd be nice for Villa to win it as well. Irish Tommy says Moyes misses has just taken over the canteen. There's not an infestation of the Moyses, isn't it? There we go. I'll tell you what he needs. He needs like whatever, his nephew or something asking the questions on the West Ham media. So Uncle, we were brilliant today, weren't we? Uncle, not a day for substitutions. They say, oh, you're right. You're right there. Uncle, we were playing Burnley today. Didn't you? You had to sit back against them, didn't you? Oh, it was a great thing to do. Oh, yeah, absolutely. You're right, Tommy. Get him in. The more Moyes, the better. Right, final comment before we get into some score predictions, actually. Hello, Dean. Hope you're well, matey. He says, afternoon, Chris. Just seen the lineup. You're happy that Zuma's finally replaced and Alvarez given a rest. Yeah, they're the two good moves, I think. Still have more than enough to smash Burnley today. Yes, and I think we will. To not beat Burnley is unthinkable. Well, not unthinkable. We can think about it, can talk about it, type about it, whatever. Yeah, that's not. Someone asked in the we did a Patreon breakfast show in the morning on a Patreon channel, and someone asked in the Patreon breakfast show, they said, do you think if we lost against Burnley and went out of Europe, do you think Moyes would get sacked? It was, I don't know. I didn't answer. I don't know. I'll give a longer answer to that. But it is interesting. What I did say was I think all eventualities are open at the moment. I think Moyes could get to the end of the season and get a new contract. I think Moyes can get to the end of the season and not get a contract, or I think Moyes can't get to the end of the season. All 3 are open at the moment. So yeah, it was interesting actually listening to Talk Sport this morning. I had it on, and they're at it again. And it was, to be fair, it wasn't the usual suspects. Who was it? I think it was Sean Custis and Henry Winter. They said, Roberto De Zerbi. was a Ferrari and David Moyes was a Volvo, and basically was saying West Ham should be grateful for their Volvo. But was pretty much the was the gist. Anyway. Right. Let's get to some scores. So the Irons match West Ham fan challenge, a little plug there. He said 41. He means 4-1. We have a 1-1. I like that. Is that MW? I love me old Batman 60s, the Adam West Batman and Robin. That's clearly not Batman and Robin. So my initial thing was that Delboy and Rodders, but it's clearly not, because Rodders is much taller than David Jason. So that's you. I think that's you dressed up as Batman and Robin. Major, morning Major. 1-1. Oh, saucy. Chris E. That's 1-1 again from Chris. Wow, okay. John says 3-2. Paul Fake says 2-0, come on you Irons. Keith, 3-2 with Bowen to score. He's been very, very specific there. Scampy, who doesn't look like Scampy. Not at all. Looks like Jared Bowen, actually, kissing the trophy. Says 3-1. Joe, who we heard from earlier on, Joe says 2-1 West Ham. Johnny Mack, 3-1 West Ham. Connor, 2-1. Russell, 3-0. Steve Jarvis, 3-1 Irons. Glenn, 4-2. Adam Norris, 4-2. Brian, 2-0. A rare clean sheet, Brian. Troy says Cresswell or Johnson both probably gone into the season. Oh, sorry. Yes, you're absolutely right. Sorry, no score line there, although I'm sure he knows what he thinks will happen. Dan says 1-0. Michael says 3-1. Callum, he's going to go for 2-1, a close game. West Ham win with Kudus goal. Evan says 4-1 hammering. He means we're going to administer the hammering, obviously. Adrian, controversial. He's on the beach, mate, like me yesterday. Wasn't a nice day like that, no. 1-2. I want to say a massive congratulations to Ryan on his engagement. There you go. Congratulations, mate. Congratulations. It was the beach scene that reminded me. As 0-0 Ballfest, Andy says 1-1. So he's agreeing with Apache. Fraser, what's Fraser saying? Fraser says, highly confident for this one. Got to start quickly. Going to goal down would be awful for the atmosphere. Yes, he would. He's not given a score, but he thinks we will win. Talis says 2-1. Lurkill's football says 3-0. What else have we got? Let's speak to Mr. E. Davis. Or Miss E. Davis, I don't know. Happy Agurd and Mav are playing. Unhappy that Alvarez is benched. I mean, this is the thing. We're hoping, aren't we? We're hoping. Jeff says that we might get to see some early subs. He's got to do something. He cannot keep flogging the players, can he? Cotters says 4-0. Drea says 2-0. Jeff, who's just talked about the substitutions, said 3-0, obviously, to West Ham. Hold on, Joe. You've already done a prediction. Have you changed? I've already pulled up your prediction. Have you changed your prediction? I don't know. The poo is one of my favourite emojis, actually. In fact, do you know what? What I would like, actually, so that's the poo. The turd is one of my favourite emojis. Can we please have, over the next 60 seconds, can I please have your favourite emojis put in the chat? I want to see your favourite emojis. I think this is really, really important. Tougher Brendan says 2-0. Reddy says a boring West Ham 1-0 win. Mark says 2-1. Frank 3-1 to West Ham. Chris says lose today and Moyes will be sacked. No, I wonder. Maybe. I like this. Thank you, Seth. Thank you, yourself. I hope you're well, mate. Listen, I missed you. I missed you at that game, didn't I? It was a bad day for me, mate. Honestly, just when you were messaging, you probably know what happened to me that day when it was the Bournemouth game. I had a bad news on the day, and yeah, so sorry I missed you then, mate. Yes, Ward-Prowse is possibly playing in his attacking central defensive midfield role. Although I do think it is a defensive attacking midfield role. And I think the nuance is important. I hope we've got some emojis. We've got, hello. Here we go. Let's. Hold on, stop. No, don't stop. Don't stop. Yes, you will have to stop in a minute. Okay. I'm just seeing some excellent emojis here. That's like a crying one, isn't it? Charlie, join us whenever you want, my friend. I'll see you back there. The hammers. The aubergine. Hello, Charlie. We're going through some emojis here. You pop one of your own up if you want to, mate. Is that a water pistol or a gamma ray gun? Oh, I like it, Doug. I didn't even know there was. I'm going to search for that. This is right, Mark. This is right. You've got to have your Speedos in there. My only disappointment was there wasn't a leopard print set. Hammers is clearly everybody's favourite. Okay, I like that. I like... Not just any duck. Can I just say, Dan? That's a male mallard duck. That's a brain popping out of a head. See, this is good for me to do. There's some of these I don't even know existed. Helicopter for Suchek. Is that a helicopter?
It's a helicopter, yeah.
3 helicopters for Suchek.
Celebration, isn't it?
Is it?
It's the spinny celebration that he does.
Oh! Is it meant to be his celebration? Meant to be? So stop the emojis now because I won't be able to get through them all. Is that what he's meant to be doing? A helicopter?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if that's what he's meant to be doing, but I call it a helicopter. I don't know what he's meant to be doing, but.
What's this? This is an aubergine. Is that a slice of pineapple or half a donut?
It's like a bagel to me.
Bagel, of course, a bagel.
A bagel and an aubergine. Don't know what you mean. Don't know what you mean.
Oh! He's being rude. Is that a tiger prawn?
I've never had prawns, so I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Disgusting crustacean, nasty.
That's a very broad brush you've just painted there.
Well, I was tricked. I was tricked for years. My old man, you've all seen him on it. You know him. You can take it up with him when you see him. They used to tell me that scampi was cod. And I ate scampi. I ate scampi for years. I mean, to the point where I got through to my adulthood and embarrassingly in an adult situation argued with somebody that scampi says, and they said to me, well, you eat scampi, clearly you do eat prawns. That is probably, and I argued it. Scampi is, scampi is bits of fish in breadcrumb. So I've taken it all, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Is it prawns? I never knew it was prawns, but I've never eaten scampi.
Unless I'm completely mistaken, there's some bloody good emojis. Is that doner kebab and a pizza?
I mean, potentially that's obviously the king of the crop, Jordan. There,
it's a good one.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. It's
Too
good,
many
Peter.
prawns.
It's solid. I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
I like it. How are you, Charlie?
Yeah, I'm alright. Feeling it. I can't lie to you.
Don't.
I was watching. I said this to Gia the other day on the whatever show we did together. I think it was the debrief when we did it. I was watching the opposition preview as I was making the thumbnail for it. When I make thumbnails, I like to put whatever video I'm making it for, if it's already live or available to watch for me in the back end, whatever.
Yeah.
I like to put it on the second screen just because it helps me generate ideas. Like when I'm sat here editing it, I don't go, oh, that's actually a better idea and whatever. So I had the opposition preview on in the background while I was doing the thumbnail for it, and everything he said made me more and more confident. It's not rare that's rare for me. I'm not someone who listens to opposition preview and go, oh, this is me. But he was so... The Burnley fan from Turfcast, which I would highly recommend you all go and watch, of course, was just so... He was like, yeah, no, look, it is what it is, but you're going to win. You're going to win. He's like, if you could score 3 against Everton, and I don't know how many you're going to get against us because we're significantly worse. And just everything he said made me more and more confident. So I'm coming into this... I would describe myself as quietly confident because I'm not a loud person, but my God, I feel like it's a thing today. I can't lie.
So how did as you were watching the video, how did the thumbnail evolve? How would it start off? Was it a sort of sort of thumbnail, and by the end of it, how did the thumbnail change?
Well, so this is all right. We'll pull the curtain back, right? So obviously, I have my like set things for the preview, the watch along, for the build up show. I have my set thumbnails that I do. I like the design I've done. I've got it all there, right? And when it comes to opposition preview, I'm always struggling with it because I'm like, I don't want to do just another one of those. So I want something different there.
Yeah.
But I always feel like I can't get. I don't know. It always feels like there's just nothing there for it because it's such a difficult one to make in terms of like what people would want to see and stuff. Because you know, a lot of the time we talk a lot about the opposition, but if you just go on a West Ham YouTube channel and you're like, Burnley are this, that, and the other, and that's the thumbnail, most people are just not going to care because it's like, well, I want to hear about West Ham. I'm not fussed about what Burnley are doing or whatever. So as they were talking, they had this conversation about Vincent Kompany and David Moyes and Sean Dyche, and Gio was asking him about like how he felt about that situation, specifically because they had Sean Dyche for such a long time, and how they would feel about style of football versus all that kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I start to see it: David Moyes, Vincent Kompany. I like doing a little like verses. I like always do a specific verses thing I like making. And I start to see it coming together, and then like they were talking a bit more about the idea of like. So that was originally, it was styles versus results. Then I made a couple of different variations because they started talking about the idea of like experience versus like all potential, because they have a potential manager. They have lots of players who have high potential because they're all so young. But so I was like, oh, then that's another one. Then I made a couple of other variations that I can't even remember. But it just evolves over time, and I end up making 3 or 4 usually a lot of the time.
Like a dejected Vincent Kompany. You search in Google, dejected Kompany. I'd have like hit Kompany, Dyche, and Moyes. I'd have like superimposed them on like the that scene that happens in the basement in Pulp Fiction. I'd have superimposed them on that.
Yeah, no, it's that sort of nonsense. I never go that far, but it's that sort of nonsense.
No, neither would I.
There you go. There was this. This was the other one. I'll show it to you here.
Come on.
Which is kind of dejected. There you go. It's kind of dejected.
Oh, he's not. Okay. I do like. I've got. So I've actually got some artwork which I got saved. You know, where you've taken the outline off them, you take the background.
Oh yeah.
So I've got Moyes in different poses. So I've got pensive Moyes, angry Moyes, frustrated Moyes. I've got a series of Moyses. I've got more that says Moyes get out, and he's doing that with his thumb like that, which I like to use quite a lot. He might as well be doing that, right? And I've got Sullivan's scowl. The Sullivan's. So whenever I'm like doing something like a thumbnail, I mean like Sullivan's unhappy, I use the Sullivan scowl. I've got a number of them. I got one for Karen. I got one for Karen Brady, and it's not complimentary. I must be honest. She looks like the devil.
You're just putting it out there for all to hear. Just putting it out for all to hear.
I do. Anyway, what's the poll saying?
We asked how you felt about the starting 11. There were 4 options. If Google let me click, there we go. There were 4 options. I like it, I love it, I don't like it, and I hate it. Simple as. No stress, no messing about.
Come on.
6% of people said they hated it.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, 3% of people said they hated it. 6% of people said they loved it. 30% of the people said, I don't like it. Whereas 59% of people said, I like it.
Oh, that's a healthy number.
Yeah, I can see that. When you look at the lineups, you say a bit of rotation, concentrating on the Europa game, which obviously we need to win now. We're 1-0 down. Some interesting rotation as well. Mavropanos and Aguerd is something a lot of people have wanted to see. So that's a thing. You can see why people would like it, but not love it. You know, I think if you were to play this exact same 11, but maybe you just swap out Alvarez for Phillips or something, I think maybe people would then switch. Well, maybe not, but would get closer to the I love it category potentially. But outside of that, I think that's probably an 11 a lot of people would be into, to be fair.
I think so. I've just had a look, actually, because I just saw someone mention Tottenham. I didn't realise it had kicked off at 1:00. Okay, so we got Tottenham and Tottenham away to Aston Villa, obviously our game today. Then we got Brighton, Forest win. Forest win. Naughty. Well, there you go. And Liverpool, Man City. So 3:45. I might fancy watching that. You go a quick review, you lot, I tell you. That's it. Because I can't. Of course, I can pause it on my Sky Television.
To be fair, it could be an incredibly boring game and there not be anything else to talk about. So,
yeah, I don't think there will, but I think there'll be lots to talk about. There'll be. I ran out of Hey, I know you can see it. Look, here is part of my notes for the Everton game. I mean, I was running out. I was running out of stuff on my whiteboard. I've got it all going on. I've got my laptop, I've got my whiteboard, and I've got my notepad.
Wait, can we have a look at those notes again?
Hold on.
Not a,
I'm just making sure there's nothing.
First of all, hang on.
Hold on.
First of, okay, yeah, fair. Double check first. That's a good point. I don't want
to call anyone to see you next Tuesday or anything.
I don't want to scarper you too much here.
No, I don't mean you. I mean players.
No, of course.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough.
Love. First of all, what's the color scheme? Oh, goals. That makes sense. Yeah, love that. I love look at that organisation from Gonzo. Secondly, when you took it off the wall, was that Velcro? I heard.
Fucking right. Hold on, I shouldn't be telling you. Hold on, that's the secret stuff on the back. Hold on, you're not.
I love that. That's Velcro.
That's private use.
Velcro attached to the wall.
Yeah.
Mate, he's got it all going on in there. Yeah.
I've got a double board system.
Do you have to put Velcro on the wall? Or does it attach to the
the wall is carpet tiled.
Yeah, I was gonna say so it should just attach to it, right?
Hold on, I'm not sure how this is gonna work.
We're on the move. We're on the move, people.
I don't know if it's going to work. Hold on. Sorry. You see, it's carpet tile.
Yeah.
Good, the bad, and the ugly.
Look at that. Look at that.
That's just Emma's chat. Sorry.
Listen, just because he's not here, it doesn't mean we have to insult him too much. But yeah, no, I love that. I heard the rip the second time. It was very exciting. That was very exciting. Look at that. Let a man build his own shed. He can run wild with it.
Honestly, it's really there's you probably can't see it. I mean, you want to see the ceiling. You probably can't see it.
Look at that. He's got it soundproofed and everything.
That's
well,
it.
dampened, I guess, as opposed to proofed. But yeah.
Hello, everyone. Excuse me. Conor McGregor in the background there.
I remember.
You remember him?
Yeah. Infamous.
We're trying to get a Count Von Count from Sesame Street to do this. One goal. Almost the lightning and all the stuff. I was going to do the score lines with him, but I can't find him. Tried to get one commission.
Surely,
£400 to get one commission. I don't want Count Von Count that much.
Is there a licensing issue there? Maybe it's why it's so expensive.
There is a licensing issue.
Because I was going to say, I mean, I feel like from a puppet standpoint, one of the ones from Sesame Street feels like one of the ones that would be easy to acquire.
Yeah, they're only small and they don't look like it. The thing is, I like to think that Hammer's Chat is small enough that they wouldn't notice over in whatever whoever does the licensing for Sesame Street. They wouldn't know. They wouldn't know. Unless we go viral, which case
I don't listen. There's very few.
It's Gonzo's pleasure. She never see it from the outside. It's just a mess. It's just a shed, but it's got thick insulation in it, and a damp-proof membrane and all sorts. So there you go. It's all been nicely done.
Moving mad. I remember you building it.
I did build it. Gonzo's dungeon. It is.
I mean, to be fair, it's better than the Harry Potter under the stairs toilet. So, those are the good old days.
It's gone.
Oh, was it gone now?
I've ripped it out. I've claimed back part of the lounge. Honestly, I'll show you it now. Honestly, I just finished plastering it the other day.
If old school people know, people who have been here for a long time will know about the toilet. Will know about the Gonzo toilet. You know, that was a big moment for Hammer's Chat. The transition from
that is it from the other side. I just finished plastering it the other day.
There you go. That's what you used to stare at.
Well, no, you didn't stare at that. That's where the camera was. There.
Well, yeah, of course, yeah.
So
well, no, that's what I'm saying. You would stare at it,
I would
not
stare
the
at that.
chat. Yeah.
So that is now part of the lounge. So I knocked the cupboard out and made the lounge bigger.
There you go. He's just running wild. Can't stop him.
Can't stop him. Subs. Duncan wants to know about subs.
Which ones? West Ham ones are here. Fabianski, Zuma, Ogbonna, Johnson, Alvarez, Urfi, Antonio, Ings, and Mubama. Burnley ones if you want.
Yeah.
Muric, Court, Goodmanson, Brownhill, Rodriguez, Benson, Amdouni, Trezor, and Del Croy.
I forgot my brown hole gag when I was doing the stuff earlier.
Make it now if you want.
Man, I was looking forward to that. Might not get a chance next season.
No, you can do it now if you want. Do you want to bust it out now, or do you want to leave it on a tentative?
No, it's too late. It's I had to be in the rhythm when I'm doing the bet and all of that stuff. I've got to go. I like that. Oh, I like that. Might get the
Well,
shirt.
Of course you do. Get in there. I mean, I'll
I
be
like
honest
that,
with you.
Phil.
I'll be honest with you. It's a lot of letters you're paying for there.
Yeah, I'm
It's
sure.
a lot of letters you're paying for there.
Sure. I paid it myself. A man with my reputation, I'll probably get.
Well, there you go. You've just shown us all the DIY you have been doing. I mean, it's possible.
Yeah.
It's like I always remember. Do you remember the Manchester United youth player? He was around for a couple of years. He's down in the lower leagues now. Cameron Borthwick Jackson.
Oh, that's just
nasty. And I remember him coming on for his debut for Manchester United. I was at the pub with a Man U fan, and his name was literally like so long. Borthwick Jackson, double barrel, so long it had to curve all the way around.
Yes,
like that.
yes.
And we were both just like, there is no way anyone's paying for that shirt. That's too expensive.
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely right. Before I go, Hammer Down Under, thank you. You're absolutely right. Happy Mother's Day to all Hammer mums, well, all mums, and maybe not Arsenal ones, but all Hammer mums. Absolutely, happy Mother's Day. Even, do you know what? Even I'm feeling particularly generous of spirit. Happy Mother's Day to all mums. There we go.
Shout out, love to your mums.
What's Michael saying? Never trust him. I've missed the phrase that pays, whatever ridiculous bet Gonzo did. How dare you? It is a ridiculous bet. I mucked it up as well. You'd be pleased, Michael, to know. I meant to do Maverick penalty to score any time, and he has to score first. But it's all right. It's good money in it. It comes in.
You're like, it's fine though. I messed it up, but it's calm. It's good.
Yeah, I feel expectations on me are so low that it doesn't matter. People,
it's a beautiful place to be.
It is. People expect utter crap from me. So and they expect errors and mistakes. So when I deliver, it's just part for the course. It's just, you know what?
This is.
Honestly, I couldn't even remember to read out the Burnley team after the West Ham team. It was that bad. I was calling you. You'd gone. You were probably on a Kazi or something, right? I said, Charlie. And I said, yeah, honestly, it was all done. It was a complete mess. The live stream. I'm not a live streamer.
Before you run, I'll tell you this story very quickly, and this is a true story, right? People had such a low expectations of me in college, right? Such unbelievably low expectations. I was in English. It was either literature or language. I can't remember which. And the teacher brought up on the whiteboard. It was like a collage of different pictures from history, and I can't remember what book we were doing at the time or what we were studying. And like she goes, what? So she goes, all right, who can tell me what this is? And it was a picture of the Rialto Bridge in Venice.
Yes.
No one, like not a single person. Everyone just dead silent. No one there. And I was like, oh, I know what that is. So I put my hand up, and she went, Charlie. I went, yeah. And she went, do you need to go to the toilet? I was like, no, it's the Rialto Bridge. She went, yeah. And then she brings up another image, right? Of it was James. It was the king before Henry VII. I can't remember which one, right? And she goes, "Who's this?" They're silent. Oh, I know that is. That's James the Fourth, or whichever one it was. And I go. She goes, Charlie. I went, yeah, it's James the Fourth or whatever.
Richard the Third.
And she went, Richard the Third. That's exact. Thank you very much.
I think it was before.
Thank you very much.
Henry the Seventh.
Thank you very much.
I might be wrong, but yes. So, sorry, yes.
And I say it, right? And she goes, and she went, yeah. And then and she was so confused, and everyone sort of went. And if the camera is me, everyone sort of went. Like that, looked at me shocked, and the person who was sat next to me legitimately went, "Are you all right?" Like that. And I was like, "Bro, I just know what they are. It's fine. You know, it's what it is." Anyway, they didn't know I knew the Rialto Bridge because it was in Assassin's Creed 2. That's a different story. But yeah, there you go. Bloodlust is back. Thank you, Bloodlust.
Yeah. Thank
you. Look at that. Good knowledge all round.
Because he was Edward's brother. Edward Plantagenet. It was Edward's brother. Edward's children were possibly the princes in the tower.
See, I've studied all this, but it's all gone from my head now.
So I think Henry VI was the useless. He was bloody useless. It was Henry V that was the, he was the geezer. He was the geezer. Anyway, listen, I've got to go. You did. You definitely had all the shit written on your hand, didn't you? Right, I've got to go. I'll catch you later. Be good. Enjoy. Everybody, I'll see you later. Have a good watch along, Charlie.
See you for the review.
I almost pressed end stream.
Yeah, don't do that. That one we need. Don't do that one.
I'm just going to close the window. Okay. Bye. Goodbye.
Gonzo, they're just almost ending everything. You love to see it, ladies and gentlemen. Hello and welcome to the stream. Welcome to the watch along, ladies and gentlemen. We're of course live throughout the entire match first half, half time, second half, all of that before Gonzo comes back to break it all down with a live match review. But until then, we have 90 minutes of football plus stoppage time, plus half time, plus injury time to go. And I'd like to welcome you all for it. If you're new around here, make sure to subscribe. We do watch alongs, we do build up stuff all throughout the day. We are the most consistent West Ham fan channel when it comes to watch alongs. I've been iffy since. I can't say as consistent as I was. Let's be honest about it. But still the most consistent over the 5 years or whatever we've been doing now. 4 years we've been doing it. So make sure to subscribe because we're always here and we always will be providing conversation about West Ham as we go and like with the video. But before all that nonsense, like I say, we have a match to go through. We are about 3.5 minutes away from kickoff, which means I shall ask you for your score predictions. And while I do that, let's run through the lineups once more, just in a more emphatic, detailed fashion, very quickly, just in case you're joining us late. West Ham lineup as such: Areola in goal, with Soufal, Mavropanos, Aged, and Cresswell in defence. We have Phillips, Souček, and Ward-Prowse in midfield, with Paquetá on one side, Kudus on the other, and Jared Bowen up front. Looks like the exact same formation we would play, except you're seeing Phillips in the Alvarez role and Aged as a centre-back, and obviously Cresswell coming in at left-back. Scary changes, those three specifically. Aged has been all out of whack this season, but I'm hoping he can come back in fit and firing now, because the idea in my head of a Mavropanos Aged, ideal of it, of a Mavropanos Aged centre-back partnership is very exciting. Equally, with Zuma permanently broken, and Ogbonna getting on, it's maybe a longer term centre-back combination. So if that can come together today, that'd be really, really nice. Cresswell, shocked that it's not Johnson, but he had an okay performance when he came on, I guess, the other day. But maybe Johnson's being saved for Europe. Maybe he's saving Johnson on the bench so he can have someone who can come on right and left. I don't know. I'm a bit shocked by that. And Phillips at some point was going to have to get a start over Alvarez. Whether it was due to rotation or whether it was due to suspension, it was going to have to happen at some point. I'm not shocked that it's happening now to save Alvarez for the rest of the game, but that is shocking. The bench: Fabianski, Johnson, Zuma, Antonio Ings, Alvarez, Ogbonna, Urfi, Mubama. In positional order, that's Fabianski, Zuma, Ogbonna, Johnson, Alvarez, Urfi, Antonio Ings, Mubama. So an interesting bench, relatively strong. You've got some options there, but again, we don't tend to use them, do we? Burnley lineup as such: Trafford in goal. Let me pull it up nice. Trafford in goal. Vitinho, O'Shea, Estevez, and Taylor in defence. Assignon, Berg, Cullen, and Odebear, with Larson and Fofana as well. Big time excited to see Josh Cullen return. Can't lie about it. That's the big one for me. They're a capable side. They're a good football team. They're not doing very well in the Premier League. They're probably going to get relegated, unfortunately. But from a footballing standpoint, they're at least fun to watch. And there's a lot of people there who have got really high potential and will one day. Someone like Trafford, for example, is someone who I would say would one day become good and become more than good enough to be a Premier League starting goalkeeper, if not more. And there's some other decent players in there as well. But Josh Cullen is obviously the one that I will be looking out for. Their bench: Murit, Cork, Goodmanson, Rodriguez, Benson, Ekdal, Amdouni, Trezor, and Delcroix. But those are the two lineups. I am, of course, watching it from North Idaho today, so I'll be slightly behind you as it goes in these manners. I will be slightly behind you because distance, travel time, all that stuff. North Idaho, the North Idaho Independent Television Service is where I'll be watching it. But I will be keeping up with our sponsor, Match Bingo, of course. Link is in the description below. It's a lovely, exciting app. It gives you bingo cards based on each game. So you can pay £2 to join the West Ham one. You get one line, you get £50. You get two lines. You get one line, you get £25. You get two lines, you get £50. You get all of them, full house. You get £100. Drop my phone. And there's a cheeky bonus, £100 in there as well. And you have little events. So, for example, that one, West Ham get a goal kick, bang, that's that one ticked off. For example, Burnley get a throw in, that's that one ticked off. And there you go. Lovely, lovely app, free to download, £2. Obviously, it is technically betting because money is involved. So make sure to make sure that you're over 18 if you do it. However, we're about to kick off. Let me pull up what I hope will be a way of working it. You may have to bear with me for a minute. I'm going 3-1. That's my score prediction. It's probably a bit bold, but I'm going to say 3-1. Said it to Gio the other day. I'm going to stick to it. And deploy the boys is exactly what that's. You'll have to see Arto. We're going to be getting in there with deployment very soon. I hope he does as well. I always loved Josh Cullen. I can't lie. He was one of the ones I really hoped would make it, and I always felt like he was good enough to play Premier League football. It was just a case of finding him the actual time to do it. And I'm glad he went to Burnley because he's obviously I'm glad he went obviously away. I'm always excited to see English players, Irish in this case, British players, let's say, go further afield and try to find game time in other countries, because I think we just don't do it enough. I think that's one of the big problems we have as a footballing nation compared to others, is we just don't. Our players just don't go abroad like that, which I think is something they should do more often. And so to see him not only do it, but to succeed while doing it, and then get to come back to the Championship and play for Burnley and get into the Premier League because of it, that's really exciting to me. That's really, really exciting. So I'm super happy for him, because I always liked him as a player, and to see him getting that opportunity now in the Premier League is big. And I really hope he gets a good reception. And I hope I'll be able to see it, is the other big thing. But do you know what? It's been long enough. I'll say it now. Come on, you Irons. Deploy the boys. It's time to run 2 things. I'll make this slightly more accurate in a second to where we're at, because right now, can't see it. But we'll get there. There are, of course, ways you can watch it. If you are looking for a way to watch the game today, there's more than a couple. If you scroll down into the link in the description below, there's a bit there called Join Our Discord. Click on that. Lovely Hammers Chat West Ham community. Fans of all clubs are, of course, welcome. But most importantly, if you scroll down on the left-hand side, there's a bit there called Stream Links, in which you will find what you're looking for. I'll tell you what. That's what I'm saying, Jonathan. Yeah, I guess that's kind of where I'm at as well. I mean, I'm not like it's a difficult one, because there is something in the back of my mind that says that worries every time he's at left back. There is something that's just, I don't know what it is, because actually his performances at left back have been really good. So there is just something in the back of my mind every time it goes, Johnson left back, that's a scary prospect. Surely we have a better option than this. But he does really well there. And if anything, I know a lot of people who think he plays better at left back than he does at right back. But if we are looking at Emerson, if Emerson is out for the game, so if we don't have Emerson for the European match, then I would, if you ask me who would I rather play there, Johnson or Cresswell, I guess, in that game, it probably would be Johnson. So in that sense, hopefully maybe that's what's going on here. I don't know, can't say, and I can't say I have much hope in that being the case. But realistically, hope is all we have sometimes. Hope is all we have. Let's make this accurate now. Now we're in properly. Let's make this a bit more accurate. Other big things today, of course, Calvin Phillips, as Burnley are passing around the back. Calvin Phillips getting the start is a big opportunity for him, a huge opportunity for him in every sense as well. It's been a difficult start for him, a very difficult start for him at West Ham. Paquetá with a nice interception. Then that's a poor pass from him. It's a very poor pass from him, and I don't like his reaction either. This is the problem, right? When he started as poor as he has, there's going to be a lot of scrutiny on him, a lot of looking at everything he does, not just from a performance level, but also in instances like that where he plays a poor pass and it gets intercepted, and they can now attack from it, crossed in from the left hand side from Burnley towards the back post, headed back towards Areola, easy collection. Even his reactions will get viewed upon and will get scrutinized and analyzed and everything else. And he needs to step up. Realistically, he was here for the. Realistically, he'll be here. I'll be honest with you, Robin. I've only just watched it for a minute, so I wouldn't be able to tell you. I wouldn't be able to say. Let's say great. I don't know. He was always going to come in as the sort of backup to Alvarez, and then as a rotation option, I think, with Thomas Souček. You want a different game where it's not going to be, where you're not going to be battling in the box as much, where maybe the midfield battle, maybe you want to control it better when you step up against a team like Burnley, who are lower down the league, and you maybe want to turn that screw a little bit more and get a bit more solid possession on it and stuff. Then maybe Phillips would have come in for Souček in those games, so you can get a bit more of that passing on it. But realistically, he's had such a poor start that it's been difficult to assume that at any point he was going to be useful for us. But now we just have to hope, because this is the sort of game he was bought for. Well, that's a nice pass by Ward-Prowse down the line to Jarrod Bowen. Kudus is arriving at the back post. He tries to pull it back from him. It's just a little bit ahead of him. It was a difficult pass to do, and he wasn't quite open enough. I like the idea of thinking, oh, there's a potential handball. Big calls from West Ham. And I think the referee's going to... Well, I think there was an offside. So it's been pulled back for offside. But I think VR will also have a look. A Senyon with a potential handball cross in from Calvin Phillips. From Mohamed Kudus. Ooh, it's close. I think he'll get away with it because of the offsides. I think that's the way it works. And also, it was very close. It hits like here, and he's like hunched down, so you can see why the arm was close. It was very close, but I'm not too annoyed about that. Yeah, but yeah, this is the sort of games Calvin Phillips was brought in for. So it's a big performance is necessary from him today. A big performance. Because otherwise, what the hell are we doing here, basically? Tom, is there any way to email you guys? Would love to get involved in some sort of content. Well, first of all, thank you for the compliment. Second of all, Tom, there should be an email in the description in which, if anyone needs anything Hammers Chat related, I would highly recommend that being the case. Because I know for a fact Gio checks it every day. Well, I don't know that for a fact. I assume he checks it every day. That's a good pass down the right hand side from Burnley. Oh, Jesus Christ! It was dinked in. It was just ahead of Fofana. Burnley trying to control it in the area. Brun Larson back to Taylor, and then forced all the way back to the halfway line. But yeah, there should be. I think it's hammerschat@gmail.com anyway. But there should be an email in the description for anything anyone needs. Hammers Chat was. Appreciate the compliment. Paquetá does well there to nip that ball away on Cresswell. Oh, he does nicely to take it past his man as well. Vitinho trying to get forward there. Aaron Cresswell does well, jockeying him, stopping him. Paquetá comes in, nips the ball away from him, and then manages to take the ball past him as well with a little bit of Brazilian trickery. But the ball forward fails, and it goes back to Burnley. Perhaps there are definitely ways you can watch the game, which I confirm work. Which I can confirm definitely working. Burnley passing it around at the back. There are baby bells available today, I should say. We still have the ones from the other day. So there are definitely ones available. Don't know how many. I think it was 2 maybe. Also got a chocolate milkshake from McDonald's next to me that I haven't drunk the entire time the build-up's been going on. So I don't know what it's going to be like on the inside. Taylor holds it across, and Ariola collects. Long ball across to the right-hand side. Soufal gets beaten in the air by Taylor, the Burnley left-back, who nods it back towards goal. And I think that was Brun Larson who was arriving, but Ariola snatches it out of the air. I think the thing with Calvin Phillips is there's in the back of my mind, I think about what the future for Calvin Phillips is, and obviously he had an insane. He had a really good time at Leeds, like really good, right? Genuinely excellent time at Leeds, right? And then he moves to Manchester City. It doesn't really work out. Burnley passing it around at the moment. Doesn't really work out for him. It is what it is. Like, these things happen. You know, you've got to take your opportunities to move to the top clubs when you get them. You can't really avoid that sort of opportunity. You get to play under Pep, all that sort of stuff. Doesn't work out, he leaves the club, right? Needs these. Bloody hell. My Fed went insanely red there as well. And my concern with his time here is I start to think about the rest of his career, and I think he did well. He's obviously done very well for England. From a club level, he's only really done really well for Bielsa. And with how different Moyes and Bielsa are, pressing wise, for example, they're the exact opposite of each other. It feels like to me Phillips is still playing for Bielsa. And I wonder in my mind whether or not that's just his natural way of playing and whether he'll ever break out of that. Paquetá trying to do the most there. He does well, but he gets taken out, unfortunately. I wonder if that's a thing. He's a Rodwell. I mean, Rodwell was another example. I mean, Rodwell, the thing is with Rodwell is he had less time being great. Do you know what I mean? Before making that move. Brun Larson looking for the shot from range to flex off one of the many shirts in front of him. But yeah, so it's interesting. The idea is interesting to me because I'm like, it becomes it becomes down to him on whether he can adjust or not. And if he can't adjust to Moyes, I don't think it really matters. He's only ever going to be, the through ball was almost beautiful for Jared Bowen there. Then maybe he's just only going to ever play well in that one system. Because if he can't, and that's not necessarily a bad thing as a player, it just means he's not destined to be the top player he maybe could be if he was adaptable like that. I don't know. It's an interesting one. It's a really interesting one. Sanderberg playing it forward. Burnley tried to pull that. He's got through there way too easy. Oh my Lord, Fofana! Jesus Christ! He's got through whoever's in front of him so easily, but then has unleashed an absolute rocket into the top right-hand corner. That is an absolute banger from Fofana. Fair play. Credit where credit is due. That is an absolute screamer. He manages to wriggle past his man. I don't know who it was or how he managed to get past him so easily. He just manages to sort of bundle his way through. And then from 25 yards or so, has hit an absolute screamer. An easy goal of the month contender. Who is he? Is it Gerd? Oh my God, it's a Gerd. And Phillips. He gets past the Gerd and Phillips just to make it worse. And what an absolute screamer. A Gerd comes flying out. Holy hell. Fair play. Fair play. That is unreal. That is unreal. A Gerd comes flying out way so far off the line. I'm not sure why he does it, but he does. Comes flying out, and to be fair, Fofana tries to lay it off to someone else, and Agerd sort of stretches his legs, manages to get the stop on it. But in that, when the ball comes back to Fofana, he just has enough space to just dribble forward because Agerd sort of stood still because of the legs spread to try and get the block on it. And I mean, Phillips was also there, but oh my God, what a screamer! Fair play. Fair play. The thing is, I agree with you, Brian, but what I will say this. I don't think Burnley are going to stop. So realistically, it continues. But crazy. I've seen some of it. Good to see you, by the way. I've seen some of it. I haven't seen all of it. I watched bits and pieces of it while I was working. For example, I saw KSI turning up. I saw that. I've obviously seen the segments with Rock and Cody and all that. But yeah. I haven't watched all of it. I need to sit down and watch it at some point. I'll probably have it in the background while I work tonight. That's the aim anyway. Anyway, how are you, bro? Hope you go. I don't know. I really liked him and I thought it was something to build on. I agree with you. And this season, he's making horrendous errors every single game. I don't know whether I'd count that as an error. I'd need to look at the replay a couple more times to really figure out if he should have come off the line in the way he did and all that sort of stuff. But it was crazy talk. Jean-Claude, good to see you. I wouldn't say well. Change the score. Thank you, everyone. I wouldn't say well. They've started on the front foot, and we created a little bit. It's not like we didn't create anything at all. There were opportunities for us, but it wasn't just consistent. And they were sort of getting crosses in, but none of them were super scary. It's not something I'm too afraid of. And their goal is an absolute screamer. To be fair, their goal is something real different. That's not something you can really account for too much. But from a I don't know, performance perspective, I wouldn't say we've been particularly good so far, but I wouldn't say we've been particularly bad. It's exactly what you would expect. But unfortunately, I mean, listen, one of the things the Burnley fan said when he was talking to Gio was he was saying, look, you sit deep, you counter attack against us. That's the way you beat us. It's just the way you beat us. And we're doing that, which is what we do against everyone, which is fine. It just is the way it is. It's just that you can't really. I mean, it's difficult to say. You can't really stop screamers like that. My bigger concern is the rest of the game around it. That's my bigger concern. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I'll be honest with you. I'm not that disgruntled yet. I'll say it like that. I'm not that disgruntled yet. But we do need to step up again. Kudus is doing well here. Dribbles off his man. Lays it short to Jarrod Bowen. He's converted himself forward on the right. Tried to find a... He's never really had the space to get any sort of decent crossing. Thomas Souček was in the box. Soufal lays it off short to Kudus again on the right-hand side. Takes on his man. Beats him. Tries to beat a second. And I tell you what, he whips in a decent cross into that corridor of uncertainty. It's defended well from Burnley. And they come off. It was decently done by Kudus there. Calvin Phillips battling midfield. That's better, Calvin. That's better. That's better. Not really. I wouldn't call it that yet. It's kind of mid-block E, but it depends where they are. It's mid-block E. We'll see. That's kind of where I'm at, James. That's kind of where I'm at. Oh, that's a good pass from Kudus down the wing to Soufal again. Loads of space. Pick out his man well, please. Dinks it across. He was waiting. Calvin Phillips was at the back post. Oh, sorry. James Ward-Prowse was at the back post. Paquetá was at the back post. He was sort of waiting, I think, for Souček to arrive potentially. And the cross was accurate, but it was decent defending from Burnley. West Ham still have possession of the ball. It's kind of mid-block E, but we'll see how it goes. But I also, to be honest with you, I think there's a massive misunderstanding from everyone involved what a mid-block, low block, high block, all those things are. So, just what it is. Paquetá cross whipped in. Can't beat the first man. Phillips collects the ball, lays it short to Aged. Phillips again. Nice spell of pressure from West Ham now. Cresswell trying to flick it inside for Paquetá. Burnley get a stop, and it's going to be a throw into West Ham wide on the left-hand side. Stu! Why'd you? How are you, bro? Hope you're well. Hope you're good. I saw someone else in chat ask me how I am. I don't know who it was. Maybe Toby? I'm well. I hope you're well. Stu, how are you, bro? I hope you're good. If you haven't subscribed to the Disabled Team, what are you doing? Stu's a Leeds fan. He's a lovely man, is Stu. Stu, Lee, everyone who work on the Disabled Team do brilliant stuff. Leeds fans, but do all football content. Love the dude. Would highly recommend you subscribe. Oh, Jesus. Burnley looking to try and build up from the back now. Josh Cullen on the ball. Brendan Larson back to the centre-backs again. Right, Willie. Hope you're well. An incredible goal. Go back and watch it if you get the chance. An absolute screamer. Like, oh my lord. Hope you're well. Hope you're well. Yeah, an absolute barnstormer of a goal. Soufal tries to play it forward, looking for the through ball for Kudus. Too far ahead. Haven't been checking the match bingo. Someone's already claimed one line. Fair play. I'm close to getting one line, but someone's already claimed one line. Fair play. What do I need? I need a yellow card shown in one of the 7th minutes, and us to hit the woodwork without scoring, and then I've got a line. Okay, it's not a bad start for me, but someone already getting that one line's crazy, crazy. Thank you. I hope Prague's treating you well. Welcome. I hope Prague's treating you well. But yeah. Exactly, Mike. Yes, Mike knows. Let's go. Kudus getting the ball off a Soufal interception. I say interception. The ball was kicked at him. Calvin Phillips short to James Ward-Prowse, who sort of lays it short to Aged backwards while sort of signalling calm to the team. It's interesting today because obviously Kurt Zuma's out of the team, and so Suchek has the captain's armband, but I don't feel like we've had really any great leaders the entire season. So there is going to have to be a sort of collective leadership thing, I think, and having James Ward-Prowse on the side as well. Like he's someone who I think leadership wise should probably be stepping up. Why is Calvin Phillips so high up the pitch? Good ball there from James Ward-Prowse. Doesn't quite work out. The idea was nice. Cresswell can't quite get there. Good pressing from James Ward-Prowse. He's gonna get a foul there from a little nip. But yeah, I think there needs to be a sort of collective leadership thing, and James Ward-Prowse is one of the ones who I feel like needs to step up a gear in that sense. And he seems to be a little bit. He's someone who can lead from the front as well with the pressing and everything else. Suchek obviously has the captain's armband today, and I like him as a guy. I think he has some leadership qualities. Jesus Christ, Southgate's in the crowd. Good luck with getting back into the team, Phillips. Not gonna lie to you, mate, Calvin. I wish you the best, but I don't think you're gonna be any next in the squad. Passing it around at the back, big boot forward from Burnley, easily collected from Mavropanos. So I was getting a phone call from my mum. I'll message her back. Did consider just answering it on the call, but who's on the bench? Ross. I can get that for you now. There you go. There's West Ham's bench. The VDS could see. I still think we'll win this game. I'll be honest with you. I still think we'll win this game. Do I? It'll obviously be less comfortable than I hoped it was going to be. I think Burnley have started well, but I still can't not see us winning this game. We do have to step up again. We have to be more effective going forward. For example, Mark says, "Have we had a shot yet?" No, we haven't. At least not as far as I'm aware. I considered it. I did consider it. If it was someone else, I probably would have, but I didn't want to embarrass her. So I didn't want to be like, "Mum, you're live on the stream." Do you know what I mean? But yeah, she was also a group call with my girlfriend, so I'm like, they can deal with that. They can deal with that. Bowen slowly becoming a leader. This says the Scoops. I think there's certainly elements of him. This is what I think. I think it has to be a collective thing. Like, I think he is better. I think he is better like that. And I think the more in confidence he grows in his own abilities and in his role at the club of being like, I'm the man. Like, I'm the top goal scorer. I'm the dude doing this thing. I think there is a sort of, you know what they say, there's two types of leaders, right? There's people who lead via performances and there's people who lead via talking or whatever, vibes or whatever. I don't know what the words are, but you know what I mean. You get your Roy Keanes who are, I'm going to lead this team through like atmosphere, vibe, talking, like I'm a leader. And then you get people, I think a bit like Declan Rice to a certain extent, who are leaders via example. And I think Jared Bowen certainly has the ability to be the latter. I think we do need sort of a collective leadership thing until we have a more settled person to be that guy, because we don't have that anymore. And I don't think we've had that for a long time. Like, I think Rice works, but yeah, I think it is what it is. I think it is what it is. Listen, it's always sunny there, right? This is what I've heard anyway. This is what I've heard. Don't know where I've heard it, but it's what I've heard. Big boot forward from Trafford from the free kick. Nodded back towards towards Areola, and there was just no one even close to it. It's gonna be a goal kick for Areola. Straight red for McGinn. Ooh. Ooh. What'd he do? Let me see. I like Jock McGinn, but that guy is begging for it. Earthy's more of like an attacking midfielder. So he plays like in the 10 position. He's kind of Paquetá-esque. He plays in the 10 position, and he plays. So he plays in the 10 position like Paquetá, and on the ball he's more similar to like. I would say more similar to Kudus. He's not as fast as Kudus or as like straight line speed, but he likes a mazy dribble. Do you know what I mean? He likes to pick up the ball and take it past people, and he's really comfortable on it in that sense. I would compare him to someone like Joe Cole back in the day, for example. Lanzini, fairly similar to Lanzini, but he's more of an attacking midfielder than a striker. We do have Mubama, of course, who's the youth striker on the bench though as well. James Ward-Prowse, just no options. There's a huge reaction from the crowd there. Cresswell, nice play forward to Ward-Prowse, who does a nice run. He's having to do a roll. It's just not his. He does do it well. Paquetá, it's a nice ball looking for James Ward-Prowse, who just manages to keep it in and tries to just flick it on. I tell you what, here's the thing with James Ward-Prowse. He's so hard working. He's so hard working. Like even there, you can see he's trying to make stuff happen, and the stuff around him just isn't happening. Mavropanos, the through ball was a nice idea, but it was never happening. Shall I actually drink some of this? Should I actually drink some of this milkshake? We are 1-0 down, bro. Dean, we are 1-0 down. I'll tell you what, if you haven't seen it, look at the goal. It was an absolute screamer. It's an absolute screamer. Fofana wriggles past the Gerd, who came flying out to meet him way too far out, in my opinion. And he just unleashes an absolute barnstorm. It's very, very melted. It's very, very melted, ladies and gentlemen. Please. North Idaho. The snowstorm is coming in. Can't see anything. Just leave that loading in the background. Yeah, the thing is, James Ward-Prowse is like he can only play in the 10 in the Moyes system. He can't do anything else in the Moyes system. That's his role. He has to play in the 10, and I feel like he works so hard. It just never feels like it's gonna come off for him. Like there's always moments where he turns around and I'm like, here he goes, and he doesn't have the options. Even there, like he was doing the running, he was doing the passing, he was doing the creating almost completely by himself. And it just feels like if someone could step up, then it would be a beautiful situation, but it just doesn't frequently enough. Anyway, it's so annoying. There we go. Okay, right, we're back in time. How's Bowen playing? I don't think he's playing badly like he was in the last game. I think in the last game he was notably quite poor. I think he is. We're seeing another performance where it's not quite working for him. Whether or not that ends up working for him is a different question. It might end up working for him, but for now, I think it's notable that it's not. But he's not playing. I don't think he's necessarily playing badly. It just feels like it's not quite working yet for him in a way that it hasn't in other games in similar circumstances, if that makes sense. What I'm saying is, I don't think it's going great, but I don't think it's his fault. That's probably an easy way of saying it. I'm trying to be more precise than I need to be about. Mate, the snowstorm is getting real right now. Oh, for Pete's sake. I heard it and then closed it by accident. What was it? Which one was it? That one? Christ. Seeing the words, how did we not score there? I don't know, but I'd love to know. I think it was this one. Yeah, Dean, if you could, that would be very, very, very kind of you. We'll see, it could just be me, to be fair. Although I'm not getting any notifications on here. Usually I get notifications on here, let's say it, so we'll see. We'll see. Please, I beg. That's Aston Villa Tottenham. That's not what I need. It's Aston Villa Tottenham. Yes. Where are we at now? Okay, do you know what? That'll do. For now, that'll do. It's not ideal, but it'll do. It'll do. It's like a minute. It's like a minute later than it need be, but that's fine. I can at least see it. There we go. There we go. Paquetá clicks in a really nice position. Looks to stream forwards. Gets pushed from behind by Sander Berg and then tackled easily, dispossessed. He seems to have taken up a position centrally as well, Paquetá, with James Ward-Prowse on the left. Tom, thank you very much for the £2 super sticker. Massively appreciate. And actually, Dave, I didn't see this at the time, but Dave, thank you very much for the £2. Good goal there. It was an absolute screamer. It's an absolute screamer. I must have him run the goal, maybe that's why I didn't see it. Dave, thank you very much. Tom, thank you very much for the £2 super sticker as well. I'll put both your names in the thing now. But yeah. They've switched out. They've switched roles. So you've got Paquetá down the middle. Mavropanos streaming forward. Oh my god, Mavropanos almost scored an absolute corker of a goal there. There we go. Names in the top. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it. They seem to have swatched roles there, but then Mavropanos comes flying and dispossesses your man and then streams forward with it. Charges into the area and then with his weak foot hits one. Doesn't quite work out. Where's my card? My card's disappeared. I need to put it back up. James Ward-Prowse wide on that left hand side, looking to try and cross it in. Can't beat the first man. We're getting there, but it's just not happening yet. We're getting there though. It's interesting to have seen James Ward-Prowse and Paquetá switch. I will say that because this is another time that he's starting to become a bit more frequent, and it's an interesting idea. And the fact that we're getting maybe one or two bigger opportunities, I don't know. It's interesting to me. I don't personally. I personally, it's not something I'm into, but I was definitely wrong in the last game, and we switched and it did well. Nice little pass into the inside towards Paquetá there from Bowen, who dropped very, very deep to get involved. Can't find it. Big ping forward for Soufal, collects it nicely. He's fouled. They're being very physical right now, Burnley, and we're not matching that. If I'm being honest, I'm not matching it. Pack doesn't look like God on the left about Pack. Do you know what? That's a fair point of videos, actually. That's actually a fair point. Their partnership is very, very strong. And if you don't have someone as dynamic as Emerson, then that synergy down the left-hand side is certainly significantly worse. I think that's a fair point. I think I just want to see Paquetá dropping deep and getting involved. And I feel like if he's playing at 10, he's forced too far forward. But if we can somehow still get the ball into those positions, and against a team like Burnley, maybe you should be able to do that more frequently, then maybe putting him in that central role is more effective, to be fair. Cullen lays it out wide to Brun Larson, back to Taylor, and then all the way back to the centre backs. Jared Bowen trying to charge them down. Brun Larson, I'll tell you what, he did well to pick it on out of Sky, but Dufal was close enough to dispossess it very easily. Kudus getting deep, getting involved. Paquetá doing the same. He's looking a bit slow there. Paquetá, he looked tired almost. The way he started moving there, he looked almost tired. Again, maybe reading a bit too much into it body language expert-wise. Jared Bowen asking why he wasn't a foul there. It looked like he was cleanly dispossessed to me, but I'm not going to say that there isn't a sort of level of... Yeah, Ward-Prowse is getting really frustrated as well. He was pressing there, Ward-Prowse, going for it, and there was no one pressing with him. So once he forces the goalkeeper to pass it out wide and he looks around and sees no one there, you can see the frustration. Brun Larson looking to try and cut it out on his right foot. Comes flying across James. James Ward-Prowse is playing well today, man. Like I don't think anything's coming off for him right now. But when I'm looking at that team, I don't think there's anyone who's working as hard as James Ward-Prowse is right now. He's charging around trying to stop people defensively. He's the one leading the press. He's changing positions to try and do stuff. I've seen him making runs. I've seen him doing literally everything. And although none of it is spectacular, the grunt work that he is doing right now is notable compared to everyone else. Now, does that mean his game is going well? No, it doesn't, right? I don't think it's really working out massively for him. And if we are going to play Paquetá in the 10, frankly, James Ward-Prowse on the left-hand side just is not a good idea. So we probably need to switch that up, whether that means bringing on Antonio or whatever, right? George Irving, I don't know if Irving can play in that position, but you know what I mean? We probably have to change that. But the fact he's working as hard as he is, and I'm noticing it compared to everyone else, is a bit of a worry today. Sufal does well to get that tackle. Because he is working really, really hard. I think we signed him for a couple of reasons. I think it work rate, leadership. Obviously, his dead ball stuff is obvious. And he is genuinely good at pressing. Like he is better at pressing than almost anyone in this team. Like Jared Bowen and him are like the two. No one else can really press, if we're being honest about it. And I think that's notable. That's why he works in the 10, but he doesn't work deep because he can't defend. Corner comes in from Burnley, headed away from Thomas Souček, as you'd expect. And that's why he works in the 10, but if you play him deeper, it doesn't work because he doesn't have the defensive solid positioning or like positional brain to really figure out where he should be like Thomas Souček does, for example, when he's playing deep. But when he's playing in that 10 position, he can get involved in the press and do these things, and he does work hard, which makes movement around him kind of easier. Does that mean it's working for him today again? No, not really. But he's doing it, and no one else is really doing it, and that's kind of the point I'm making here. And actually, James said it as well. Where is it? We never press as a team. Always half-assed, only one or two players. Can tell it's never coached. I think that's the thing. It's like I think there is mixed messages, is the way I would say it, right? And I don't know this, but from the way I see it, I feel like there's mixed messages. Big boot forward, that's going to land at the feet of Burnley because again, Areola's long kicking is awful. We're really struggling to push forward here. You need to press as a unit. You have to. You can't just do the Robert Snodgrass press. That's the way I've always described it. The Robert Snodgrass press. Just one guy, headless, running at people, like James Ward-Prowse just did there, because then they just pass it around you way too easily and you've just wasted a bunch of energy. You have to You have to move as a unit, right? And that's something that we're just poor at because we never do it. And I think part of it is the way I read it is mixed messages because you say, right, you want to press when you have the opportunity to press. That means everyone has to be in the position to press and then go together as a unit. But at the same time, there's an energy, nice ball through to Jarrod Bowen, does well. Paquetá's in the centre. He tries. The ball maybe positionally wasn't that bad, but it just wasn't there. It just wasn't there. Apparently, there was an offside somewhere. Jarrod Bowen, I don't know if that's offside, but I mean, it doesn't work out regardless. But yeah, I think that you then there's the other mixed messaging is which is being in positionally in the right place to defend and defending again as a unit, and so there's that mixed message of when do you go and when do you not go. And Jarrod Bowen is usually the guy who activates the press. You see him go, people move with him, but it tends to be people have to be in the right place. It's such a complicated thing that we're just not very good at. We try, and there are times where we're good at it, but we've just never been consistently good at pressing ever. I've never seen us be consistently good at pressing. Big boot forwards. Paquetá somehow manages to sort of win the header against Sanderberg. We don't win the ball, but Mavropanos does well there up against Fofana, who pushes him and wins a free kick. Thank you very much. Literally wasn't even looking at the ball. Fofana just pushed Mavropanos. Gerd looking for that long searching ball towards Kudus. There's a big call for a pass back there. It's very rare you see one, but a cushioned header from the long ball back, and Trafford seems to stop it with his hands, although whether or not he does or not is another question. But free kick against Jarrod Bowen. Going to be a free kick to West Ham inside their own half. Five minutes to go. 4 minutes plus stoppage time. Long kicking of Areola goes wrong again. It's going to be a Burnley throw-in. Genuinely, what's the point in Areola kicking it long? I can't lie to you. He's so atrocious at it. It's incredible. It's actually incredible. Dinked forwards. Jarrod Bowen loses out. You've got sort of Paquetá pushing up forward from the 10 almost into a second striker or kind of 4-4-2-E with, again, James Ward-Prowse just ending up on his left-hand side. Soufal. It's going to be offside. Thank you very much. We'll take that. We'll take that. Mavropanos, that's an awful free kick. Completely mishits. I need to hold my tongue a little bit. Who's dominated possession? I don't know the actual stats. I've not seen them. Let me have a look. But I would suspect it would be Burnley. It wouldn't shock me if it was like relatively close. It's 51% Burnley, 49% West Ham currently. Is where the possession is currently at. I'm surprised. I would have thought it would be more Burnley, if I'm being honest. Thomas Souček somehow giving away a foul there. I'm not really sure how it happened. He's going to get a yellow card as well. I mean, he's maybe pulled him back a bit there, but Yeah, it's definitely a pullback. I mean, I guess in that sense, it's a professional foul. It's a bad sign that the captain's doing that. I can't lie. It's a bad sign that the captain's doing that. Timo Werner to West Ham. What say you? Nah, good player. I don't know. Good player, but I'm just not. It's just I something about it in the back of my head says no. Something about it in the back of my head says it's not for us. I think he's a decent player. I think he got hard done by at Chelsea, but have Burnley controlled the midfield? I mean, yeah, we're not playing the midfield. Yeah, they have. They have. Bryn Larson free kick from range straight into the hands of Areola. Part of the problem, this is a lie, but part of the problem, it's not a lie, it's just not quite there. Part of the problem is that we can't play. You can't, like, playing Areola means you almost can't play long because his long kicking is so bad. So you have to find those short options, and so if you press him, it becomes really difficult to work your way out. Like, really difficult to work your way out. Every time we get forward, it feels a bit stretched there. We win a throw in from it, but it feels a bit stretched. It means you have to play it short, and then if you press, then you can start to force it into awkward positions. Again, comes striding out of defence. He's currently further forward than all of our midfield. Kudus wins a throw in. And that's kind of a problem at times. Not one we see too often, but it is kind of one. Kudus goes for it from range. Dragged significantly wide. It becomes an interesting problem. I don't know. 3 minutes of added time. It becomes an interesting problem to deal with. It's just inability to kick long. Kudus takes on Taylor and beats him unbelievably easily, and the shot is just shanked completely wide. It's like he's basically falling over as he does it. He has to swing his leg full force to try and get there. It's too far away for him to really wrap his foot around and get it aimed back towards the goal, and it ends up going significantly wide. Paquetá flicks it on. Thomas Souček gets dispossessed by Fofana, who does well there. Berger charging forward. Got option on the left, which he takes, and Bryn Larson. 2 fouls there. Flick on, what are you on? It's an own goal. Mavropanos just scored an own goal. That's awful. That's really, really bad. Ball gets played out wide to the left-hand side. Bryn Larson cuts inside on Sufal, wrong foots him. Josh Cullen on the underlap. Picks up the ball from the reverse pass from Bryn Larson. It's nice possession play. And then cut across with his left foot. With his weak foot as well. And Mavropanos, for some reason at full stretch. There's no Burnley player even really near him. It wrong foots Areola, who was already moving across in the other direction to try and stop the ball. Completely wrong footed, 2-0. Completely wrong footed, 2-0. I don't suspect it's going to be very nice to listen to at half time. I can't lie to you. Don't suspect it's going to be very nice when the whistle does go. There was. I have opinions here that I can't and shouldn't say because it would just cause problems. Well, this is where you earn your money, David. These are the sort of games where you earn your money, mate. Big turnaround needed in the second half. Monumental turnaround needed in the second half. Thankfully, it's against the Burnley side who don't seem to be able to not concede. Berg's shot dribbles wide. There is the halftime whistle, and unsurprisingly, a huge amount of boos. This is where you earn your money, big man. Because realistically, a monumental turnaround needs to be happening. Thankfully, it's against a team who are Christ awful at defending, so we should be able to potentially get in there and actually score if we somehow manage to step up a gear. But as of right now, I'm not convinced we're going to be able to do it. It's really, really difficult. Where the hell's my mouse? It's really difficult to begin to see how we do that. Really difficult to begin to see how we do that. I think there are certain things we do. Is Stu out of the game? Yeah, he is. He is, Lewis. He is. I think there are certain things we can do. I think Alvarez for Phillips is probably the first one. I think Phillips is not helping at all. And I feel like we just need actual defensive solidity in that centre position. Because it's, well, their first goal came directly from it. And with the centre backs we have right now, I think it's scary to have the centre of the park basically completely vacated, which is what it feels like it has been today. You take James Ward-Prowse off. It's difficult to justify taking him off unless you move the team around somewhat, because you can't really take off Paquetá, because Paquetá is one of the few people in this team who can actually create something. And without him, we're obviously awful. But realistically, you look at James Ward-Prowse and he's working harder than anyone else on that pitch right now. I strongly believe that, but it's just not going to work for him. Doesn't matter where. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter where you're going to play him right now. It's not going to work for him. And so you have to really ask yourself what you do in that position, because you can't keep him on the left hand side, because that's just silly. But it wasn't exactly working for Paquetá on the left. And as someone said in the chat, without Emerson, does Paquetá work on the left? And I think that's an interesting question to answer. It's really, really just kind of a really difficult situation to be in. Burnley fully deserve to be in the lead. Fully. There's literally no doubt in my mind about that. The worst thing is I don't think Burnley have been that good. I think they've been significantly better than us and fully deserve the lead, but I don't think they've been 2-0 at half-time up in the Premier League good. I think they're coming up against a side who sort of, well, first of all, Aged for that goal, the Fofana goal. Listen, Fofana scores an absolute screamer. There's nothing more that we can say about Fofana apart from what an absolute belting finish that is. That is unreal. That's goal of the month winner. That's goal of the season contender. That's insane. Why the hell Aged is that far forward? He comes flying off his line to try and stop him, to try and stop something. Again, I'd need to look at the replay a couple more times to really try and figure out why the hell he thought it was a good idea to come out that far and leave a cavernous gap in defense, right? But realistically, he collects the, he manages to sort of stop the pass from happening, but because he's so fully stretched, he's just like awkward. And then obviously, Fofana then just wiggles past him like easily and just absolutely pings it into the top corner with a ridiculous, change the score. Thank you. Sorry, I completely forgot. With an absolutely, you'll forgive me for not wanting to do that. The second goal, I mean, look, Burnley work it down the left-hand side. They've been doing that quite often today. Just consistently finding space down there. Soufal has been up and down, let's say. He gets wrong-footed, because Bryn Larson cuts inside. You have the underlap from Josh Cullen, which is good, which is well done from Burnley. It's well worked. And then the ball comes across, and I can't help but just think, where is the leadership in this team? And again, I look at the defence, and I just think there's no one in charge of it. And this is a consistent problem when Areola is there a little bit, but... And I'm not blaming Areola for the goal, but the fact that Mavropanos is so stretched in that moment, the ball comes across, he's fully stretched out, it takes a little deflection off his foot that he can't stop because he's so far away, and it ends up wrong-footing Areola, who was already diving in the other direction for some reason, and it's in the net. My problem is, why does Mavropanos do that? Why does he not know that there is no one around him? Why is he stretching that far? And part of it is probably that idea of like, it's going badly, and so everyone's just going to have to chip in and do everything they can to get back out of this. And so the ball's coming across and he's gone, I need to stop this. But you look at it and you say, why does he not know that there is no one behind him in that space to take advantage of it if he just leaves it? Why is Areola not screaming, "This is mine," and coming collecting it? Why is, again, behind him not telling him this is not an issue? Why has that happened? There's so many questions to ask about how that goal is allowed to happen from just specifically the two centre backs and goalkeeper perspective, because it's not the first time it's happened, and that is my biggest concern with it. Is if this is a consistent problem, then there is something that needs to be solved in that, and it feels like there's just no leadership at that back line at all when Kurt Zouma isn't there, and when Kurt Zouma is there, we've got massive problems for completely different reasons. It's really, really annoying to watch because it's just so. I don't even know how to word it. It's such a simple, basic thing. And like their first goal was a screamer, should have been stopped, but was an absolute screamer. The second one is super simple. And now we've got to dig ourselves out of a out of a 2-goal hole that realistically we should not be in. We just should not be in a 2-goal hole to Burnley at halftime at home. That's just not something that should be the case. And yet we are here. And as I started off by saying all this, like, this is where David Moyes is going to have to earn his money, realistically. And I don't know how he does it. You know, there are times where I look at this side and something's not going right or whatever, and I go, oh, well, realistically, maybe you move this around, you do this, you do that. You know, maybe you make this change, make that change. We should be able to come back into this game. I said 3-1 before the game, and that's because Burnley are incapable of not conceding, right? So I felt like realistically, it's possible to do this. And like at 2-0, I still think it's possible to do this. But I'm just not sure what I would change. Like, what do you even do in that position? Like realistically, I guess if I'm forced, I'm staring at the subs now, trying to figure it out. I guess you change Cresswell for Johnson, you change Phillips for Alvarez, you change James Ward-Prowse for Antonio or something. Put Antonio up front, you move Jarrod Bowen out to the right, you put Kudus down the centre, you move Paquetá back out to the left. Hopefully him and Johnson link up in a way that him and Cresswell can't, and you move forward from there. But I just don't know. Adam says, Ward-Prowse is hopeless. Here's what I'll say about it's both. We don't have the players for it. It's both though. It's 100% both. It's neither one nor the other. It's both. Because here's what I'll say about James Ward-Prowse. James Ward-Prowse is working harder than any other person on that football pitch. At one point, I saw him drop back, get involved in the defence, lay the ball off to Paquetá and that, then make the run himself, then go try to collect it, then go try to cross the ball. He's working harder than anyone else is on that football pitch. And the thing is, sometimes, and that is a compliment to him. That is a compliment to James Ward-Prowse. The problem is sometimes when you like, that doesn't necessarily mean it's working for him. Do you know what I mean? He's working unbelievably hard, but it's just not working out for him. He has to play at the 10. I continue to say this. You cannot play James Ward-Prowse in any other position in this team apart from in the 10 position. And if you want to move Paquetá into the middle, that's fine. But then you just have to take James Ward-Prowse out. You just have to, because he can't work on the left-hand side. He just can't. And I love what he's doing. I love the work rate he's putting in. But realistically, the actual what we're getting from that, the result of that, it's just not happening. It's just not happening. So you have to take him out. I don't think he's hopeless. I just don't. He's just, you can't play him on. You can't play him on the left. You just can't. It's madness. But once he's already on the pitch, you have to make a change because it's not working. You kind of have to do it. The bigger problem for me is, right, this is me justifying it to an extent. But the bigger problem is when we come out in the second half and he's back on that left hand side again. Because in the first half, I understand not making like James Ward-Prowse starts in a 10, Lucas Paquetá starts on the left. You think, okay, this isn't working, so you move James Ward-Prowse over to left so you can put Paquetá in the centre. You try to make things happen. Fine. I get doing that in the first half. You don't want to make a tactical sub in the first half. I understand that there are very few managers, maybe Bielsa's like one of the few, who will actually be a madman and do a tactical sub in the first half. My problem is at halftime you can make those tactical subs, and when he comes out in the second half and he's back on that left-hand side again, it's really, 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 really difficult to justify because it does not work. It does not work. And at halftime, you can make tactical substitutions. You just don't have that excuse anymore. You do not have that excuse anymore. You know, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. How many tackles have you made? I don't know. Phillips is such a. I can have a look. Phillips is such a. Phillips is someone who should have such upside for this team. Like, you should be able to see what he does, and he just does nothing. They've made one in between them. James, Phillips has made one, and James Ward-Prowse hasn't made any yet. Phillips should be able to change. Thank you very much, Neil. Phillips should be able to change the way we play. He should be able to bring that passing flair that he has. He should be able to ping it long. Get it into those positions. Like, it should help us on the counter. He should be able to control the game a little bit. A little bit more in the midfield. He should be able to do these things. His head is still playing for Marcelo Bielsa. His head still has that. I'm just gonna run at everything. I'm gonna try and I'm man marking everything. I'm going man to man with everything. I'm steaming at them, and that's just never, ever going to work for him unless he's playing very specifically for a side that does that kind of thing. Basically, Bielsa ball. That very specifically plays Bielsa ball. Outside of that, you can't. It's just not happening. It's just not happening. Like, I want him to be a success. I really, really want him to be a success because I can see the upside on how he would benefit this team. I mean, I'm looking at the stats there that they flashed up on screen. 50-50 possession. They've had one more shot than us. They've had 4, 2 on target. We've had 3 not on target. I mean, the fact that their expected goals is 0.1 and ours is 0.08 is kind of mad. Because you feel like it would be more. It's so annoying with Phillips because you see it and you're like, this could change everything, and it does. It just makes everything significantly worse. Because he could and he should be better. He could and he should be better. No, it's not a credit. To be honest with you, here's the thing. I'm crediting James Ward-Prowse for work rate and for running and doing all that stuff. With Calvin Phillips, it's the opposite. I'm not crediting him for that. He's out of position. There's times where he's miles further forward than he should be. And don't get me wrong, Alvarez has the ability to be miles out of position sometimes as well. But Calvin Phillips, that's all he ever does is be out of position. Is all he ever does. That's not delusional. That's just breaking it down in a way I see it. He is a good passer of the ball. This is my point. This is my point, E. Davis. I think you're missing the point, right? He is someone who should be able to change this team for the better. He is someone who should be, in theory, a great replacement for Alvarez when he's not playing, or additionally, a rotational guy with Souček. You swap him out, you swap Souček out, you put him in, and you can do something different, style of play, a little bit different, maybe dominate teams like Sheffield United or even Burnley potentially, although they're quite good in midfield, where Sheffield United aren't, in my opinion anyway. Not to the same level. And you should be able to do these things, right? It's not that he's good. My concern is that I don't think Phillips is in any way going to be good at a team that isn't a Bielsa side or someone who plays Bielsa ball. And wild to me that we would make that signing in that case. Wild to me that we would make that signing, because realistically, if that's the case, what's the actual point? What's the point? Because we're not going to play that style. We're not even going to play that style unless we get flipping Bielsa. We're not going to play that style. It's not that he hasn't been good in years. It's that he potentially should be good in certain scenarios, and we've just got nothing. Anyway, Burnley and West Ham making subs. Antonio is coming on. I didn't see who for. We're getting a second change as well. Okay, so I mean, it's exactly what I said. Ward-Prowse is off for Alvarez, and James Ward-Prowse is off for Antonio. Second half underway. Right, need to put this on. Come on, you irons, deploy the boys. It's time to run two things. Christ alive, this is going to be a long half, isn't it? This is going to be a long half. Well, by the way, if you're new around here, make sure to subscribe, like the video, all that good stuff, because we are live every single match day covering West Ham. We're the most consistent side, the most consistent channel out there when it comes to watch-alongs. Oh, Paquetá's through. Paquetá slots it. Paquetá. Okay, maybe that's how we change it. Less 30 seconds ish, 37. He scored straight away. My timer's all out of whack. I need to change that. And Paquetá has just slotted it home. Bang, straight away. Lucas Paquetá scored. Just to run it through quickly. Antonio has come on. Alvarez has come on. Phillips and Ward-Prowse are both off. Right, Paquetá has just scored straight away. I think it's Phillips who came off. Long ball, equal over. Paquetá streams through the middle, collects it, slots it home. Beautiful stuff. Great finish from Lucas Paquetá, nipping the ball off Burnley after they're a little bit stretched. Again, it's like if you press as a unit, you can get things. Imagine doing that. Charges forward, opens himself out, slots it home. That is a beautiful finish. Game on. Game on. I said it. They concede goals. They concede goals. Christ. I think there's going to be some sort of VAR check. I don't know what for. There we go. Game back underway. It's 2-1. Flipping it. It's all half time. His kicks off in a mad fashion. It's 2-1. We're back at it, ladies and gentlemen. Christ. Again, pressing from the front line. Mikel Antonio barely under pressure. Now we have a better side. Let's get at them. He's loving it. Look at him. Look at that hype. I know I'm still super far behind, I know. Yeah, so Calvin Phillips and Ward-Prowse came off. Trying to see what the Burnley sub was for Antonio and Alvarez. So you got Antonio up front, Alvarez taking up the position of where Calvin Phillips was playing. And I think Bowen's out on the right, Kudus is on the left, and Paquetá's down the middle, I believe is what it looks like. Brun Larson is the one who came off for Burnley. And Brownhill's come on in his place. There you go. So there's the full changes. Where are we at? Interesting that they brought on another midfielder. Like that was the problem. Okay. And probably Phillips, if we're being honest. Big ball over top. Oh, Jared Bowen almost gets the control. Can't quite get it. We needed this sort of response. At half-time. Not only as a team, but as a fan base as well. The crowd needed it. Because it was such a negative atmosphere at the end of that first half. If we didn't come out like we have done, I would have been very concerned how bad the atmosphere would have got very quickly. You can imagine in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, if we hadn't really started to crank it up, we hadn't started to create chances, hadn't scored, that it really, really would have been quite bad. But it's turned around now. Common Uian's being heard out for the first time since kickoff. Kudus, nice layoff. He is playing on the left-hand side. Alvarez loses out, but thankfully Thomas Souček saves it. Bowen to Paquetá. He was looking for a first-time ball out towards Antonio. He's going to make it anyway after the deflection of the Burnley defender. Mikel Antonio getting into the position. Digs it across. Paquetá was there but couldn't quite get there. Alvarez misses out the ball, but West Ham continue with possession. Kudus does well, finds Aaron Cresswell. Nice layoff down to Kudus, whips it across. Full stretch there for Jarrod Bowen, can't quite get there. Battle in the box, that's going to be a free kick to Burnley. Who assisted Paquetá? He did it himself. It was a ball was playing up high. The Burnley defender tries to sort of head it in a really weird angle, stretched out, and Paquetá wins the possession, charges forward, and then slots it home himself. Good, very good start in the second half. Huge start in the second half. Cresswell hoofs it forward. They're starting to. Their passing has become a little bit sloppy here. Burnley's shot from range from Brownhill takes a big deflection off Sufal. Unsurprisingly, the long boot from Areola goes straight back to Burnley, and they win the ball back. Do we see Calvin Phillips again? We will, but should we? It's a question that needs asking at this point. Obviously, it's not his fault. It's not his fault we were 2-0 down. But it's not notable. How do you see his fixture ending? At this stage, honestly have no idea. At this stage, I honestly have no idea. I predicted us scoring 3 before the game. Maybe we score 3. I don't know. If you told me they win 3-1, I'd believe you. If you told me we win 3-2, I'd believe you. I've got no idea at this point. Kudus does well, charges back, wins the ball, tries to lay it forward. We win a free kick. Nicely done. I'll be honest with you, Sam. I'm starting to get a bit like a broken record about this. Areola's long kicking is maybe the worst I've ever seen a goalkeeper have. It's so bad. I might be overhyping it because there's some players you say you play some lower league opposition, you're just like, Jesus Christ, what's this? But my guy, just so inaccurate every time. Big ball forward, Jarrod Bowen charging through. He's got Mikel Antonio in the centre. Paquetá was arriving late. Maybe the pullback was a good option, but we win a corner instead. Drinking a chocolate milkshake. First corner of the game for us. Only the second corner of the game overall. Whipped in by Aaron Cresswell. Mavropanos at the back stick, gets his head to it, but it deflects off one of the Burnley players. It's going to be another corner. He's going to take it from that side. Cresswell again, I guess. Gerd in there. Antonio in there. Paquetá's in there. Obviously, Mavropanos, Souček. It is going to be Cresswell again. This time an outswinger from the left-hand side. That's not bad. Oh! How's that not ended up in the net? A little bit of pinball bouncing. Initial shot or header or something comes in, deflects off someone. A second one, looked like it was destined to go in. A second one comes in. We lose out on the frame. A second one comes in, incredibly close. Let's look at a replay. Cresswell whips it in. It bounces off. It looks like Antonio's gut, and bounces off someone. And then Jarrod Bowen dives in, and as the clearance tries to happen, Jarrod Bowen sort of manages to get a foot on it. Would have been fortunate, to be honest, but it takes a huge deflection off Paquetá just in front of him, and it's somehow not in the goal. Jesus Christ! Throw in taken from West Ham in that corner quadrant. Paquetá finds Sufal, whips it in. Antonio can't quite get there, and the people lining up in the centre to header that one home. Alvarez, that was Awful. Gets so tangled up. Jesus Christ, I hope this isn't a goal. Fofana. Straight into the hands of Areola. Not this time, my friend. Not this time. Alvarez. He fluffed the first chance to try and stop him. Then he went diving in for a second and gets taken past quite easily. Antonio with a missed control. Collingwood. M. It's weird how that works. It's weird how it works. Yeah, significantly. It's like two different teams. It's crazy. It's like two different teams. Ball over top for Antonio. Charging through. Tries to cut inside and turn. I'll tell you what, he thumped that one across. Paquetá. Far side. Oh, looking for that top corner. Couldn't quite find it. Incredibly close. Just checking my match bingo. Still not there. Still not there. Controls it at the back stick. Paquetá tries to whip it in towards that top corner. Can't quite find it. It's such a... That's crap for Fofana, to be honest with you. It's absolutely crap. He should have done well. Should have done better than that, if we're being honest, man. I think bringing on Antonio changes the game a lot. Not necessarily because he's so good, although he can push the back line around in a way that none of our other players can. He can control it, he can move it, he can make the runs, he causes problems for defenders that none of our other strikers can. But also having Jarrod Bowen deeper, gives you a free behind the striker that can really cause damage. And then with someone else ahead of them who's creating space, we're such a different side. That was close from Burnley. Shot doesn't come in. Shot comes in eventually from Brownhill. Deflects. It's a poor shot in the end. There was a great opportunity before then, though. Lifted across from the far post. Tried to put it in. Ends up landing at the back stick. Yeah, it was poor. Should have been better from him. Shot from range from Vitinha. Game's really opening up here. Really opening up. It's kind of worryingly opening up. I'm not going to lie to you. Deflection. Yeah, he definitely looks bang up for it. When Antonio's on it, man, there's just something else. Burnley to take a corner from our right-hand side there left. It's going to be an in-swinger. Thankfully, it's right into where Thomas Souček was standing. He headers it away quite easily. Josh Cullen essentially already scored. I mean, he didn't actually put it in, but the own goal, he was the one who whipped it across the box or played it across the box for the own goal to actually go in. So close in that sense to him actually scoring. As close as you want, anyway. Half starting to settle a little bit. Exciting start to the second half. For the neutral. Very exciting from a West Ham perspective. Starting to settle a little bit now. Just lackadaisical from us there. Silly. Again, it's just awful. I don't know why he tried that. Just looks up, sees Kudus, decides to pass to him despite the fact Kudus is being marked by the guy, and then he ends up going down. We have a free kick because of it, but it's just poor stuff from us. Silly decision making from Aged. It's like two completely different games. It's wild. It's actually wild. Yeah, Scoops. So Antonio is up front. Paquetá is in the 10 position. Kudus is out wide on the left, and Jarrod Bowen is out wide on the right. With Paquetá sort of being able to push up almost into a 2 at times. But yeah, so it's a 4. It's the classic 4-2-3-1. Paquetá in the 10. And I think when we're playing Cresswell, Kudus almost has to be the guy on the left. I'll be honest. Look, it's one of those things where this doesn't even have to be anything to do with Moyes. That passing's just crap. It's nowhere close to being. It's nowhere close. It's just what are you doing? The decision making and the passing there is just awful. Big ball over the top. Souček tries to control it down for Antonio. Manages wiggled away. I think he had eyes for goal a little bit. Shot from range from I think it was Alvarez with. I know it's Paquetá with the left foot. Always go again. I think Antonio maybe had the eyes for goal a little bit, but yeah. What flavour shake do you have? It was chocolate, but it did taste a little bit like banana. I can't lie, it did taste a little bit like banana. But it was supposed to be, the receipt said chocolate. The receipt said chocolate. One of the Burnley players are down receiving some assistance. I suspect this might take quite a while. I think it's Estev. How do you pronounce it? It's Estev? That's all that's left. That's unreal. Looking at the replay of that first goal again, so good. Like, holy heck. Second half has started to settle a little bit now. The subs worked. The vibe 100% worked. We came out firing on all cylinders. Everyone looked up for it. The substitutions worked. That all worked. But now that it's settling a little bit, we need to see if it's like a long-term solution. They're taking as much time as humanly possible here, Burnley. You got to respect it. I mean, you also got to be absolutely furious about it. But you know, I like the crap housery, so I'm fine with it. But good interception there from Jarrod Bowen. This is what we need to make them suffer for. When they make just lackadaisical silly passes like that, we've got to grab the ball and go with it, and that's what Jarrod Bowen's doing. He's trying to take on Taylor and beat him. He managed to get the ball in. Can't get his head onto it. Alvarez is there. Lays it short to Cresswell instead. That is an awful cross from Cresswell. Awful cross from Cresswell. It was a really nice opportunity there. It opened up for us a little bit. Jarrod Bowen was struggling to beat Taylor down the right hand side, but he takes it all the way. The linesman trips over on the way. Manages to take it all the way to byline, digs it back across, and it was open maybe for an Emerson style shot from Cresswell. I'm glad he didn't go for it, but the cross was god awful. McDonald's is dog meat. It's nice though, isn't it, Stephen? You know what I mean? I'm gonna. I'm fat. Headed forward from Burnley straight into our hands. Cresswell looking for Paquetá. Fofana's trying to come forward now. He slips over. Alvarez was mid-sliding at the time. Otherwise, maybe would have won the ball back. The Gerd manages to nip the ball away. That's nicely done. Alvarez finds Kudus. Wins the free kick. Getting very physical touch tight on him. Again, very similar to how Freiburg did. You know, you need to get against us. You've got to sort of start doing that sort of stuff. There you go. Yellow card for Essegnon. For the foul on Kudus and a little bit of the shouting after. Who did Antonio replace? He came on for James Ward-Prowse. James Ward-Prowse and Alvarez came on, pardon me, twice for Phillips. Souček looking to try and nod it on. Finds Bowen. With some great header. Huge opportunity. Kudus cuts inside. Hits it. Oh, it's so far over. He slipped. And it's gone flying over. It was so close. And he's massively pissed and disappointed, as he should be. Bowen finds him. Sorry. Who the hell's gone down in the middle of the park holding their face where Paquetá was? I didn't even see him get touched. I'm not being funny. Whoever that is, if that's Asenyon again, he should maybe be off. That's insane. He's gone down. There's no one even close to him. What? Hang on. How's he gone down like that? Can we get a replay of that again specifically? Because I'm not going to lie. It didn't even look like Paquetá was next to him when he went down. I'm not going to lie. I'd send Asenyon off for that. Second yellow? Get him gone. Get him walking! What? What is it? Bottle job. Bottle job Campbell. I can't speak. Yeah, I can't speak. Why do players sip over so often? It's very rainy today, to be fair. It's very rainy, to be fair. Knows it's Oscar season. Solid work. I don't even know he wasn't even close to him, was he? White, if you're looking for a way to watch the game, there are ways you can do it, my friend. Mavropanos, that's an awful pass again. Kudus gets the ball, plays it back to Aged, looking for that long range of football. Almost found Jared Bowen. It's a lovely idea. Almost manages to nail it. Yeah, Mavropanos, offensively, he's had a good game. Defensively, he's been a little bit all over the shop, I can't lie. Just wide. Just wide. Burnley take the corner short. Lay it back to Cullen, looking to try and work their way in. That's a bit of an awkward pass out wide. Jared, just run at him. If you're going to get twined up, that's fine, but just have a go at him, you know? Header away from Mavropanos. Antonio had to battle 3 separate men for that. Almost won. Can you play that a bit slower? I'm assuming you mean the graphic. Basically, Mark, if you scroll down into the link in the description below, there's a bit there. If you scroll down to the description below, there's a bit there that says join our Discord. If you click on that, it's completely free to join. It's a Hammers Chat community, West Ham community, lovely people over there. And if you join that, basically on the left-hand side, there is a bit there called Stream Links. Odebear coming off for Burnley. I didn't see who it was for. Oh, it's for Dirk White. They're going defensive here. Burnley bringing on a defender for a midfielder. The people call for it. MC. Bowen looking for the through ball. Misplaced pass there. It was directly in between Paquetá and Antonio. Cresswell finds Kudus, who, if I'm honest, went down a bit theatrically there. Who scored for us? Paquetá. Bowen tries to hook it forward. Mikel Antonio charging down. Tell you what, Trafford does very well to come out and stop that one. Does very, very well. We're getting close to Bell territory, it feels like, looking at the chat. Bell by 70. I'm calling Bell. Getting very close. Kudus with the control. Can't quite get away from his man. Played forward. Fofana cuts inside on Aged really nicely. Alvarez. Brilliant stuff. I'll be honest, Aged got done way too easily by Fofana. He basically just walked past him and Alvarez came flying back to stop that one. Nicely done. Got to love a Bell poll and chat. There's been enough calls. Bell, yes or no, should be in chat right now. I'll give it until 72. Burnley player goes down. Paquetá in disbelief that he went down like that. O'Shea is basically begging for a yellow card. I'll be honest with you. Burnley are fully leading into the dark arts at this point. Like, fully leading into the dark arts. It's kind of... I don't want to say it's pathetic to see, but it's kind of pathetic to see. It is what it is. It's just a game, innit? But, like... Alvarez does well. He's done really well since he's come on, Alvarez. Kudus back to Cresswell. Paquetá, Cresswell. Back to Aged, looking forward for that through ball over the top again. That's something he's so good at. And Antonio battles for it and wins it. Throw it to us. Time wasting from Burnley from Del Croy. He's just come on. He gets a yellow card for it. Yeah, 100%. Like I get it. It's obviously just pure wind up merchant behavior, but I get it. I understand. It's the way it goes. If I wasn't so desperate for us to get back into this game, I'd probably be quite enjoying it, if I'm being honest. Cresswell to take the throw. Shot to Alvarez, whose control is a bit iffy, but he dives in to win that ball back. He loses out on the throw, but he does well there. Loses out initially, but jumps straight in to try and win that ball back. I like it. Fofana has made Aged look like a mug today. I can't lie. Made him look like an absolute mug. Let's have a look at the poll. Bell, 25%, sorry, 23% said no, 75% said yes. So at the end of this play, I'll go and grab it. By the way, for those who are asking why the percentages were off, I saw some people asking why the percentage was off in the poll at the beginning of the stream as well. Google seems to round it all down, and I don't know why. Oh, Antonio does really well. Gets in behind Mikel Antonio. Good block. Good defending from Del Croy there. Antonio does really well, though. I tell you what, both Antonio and Alvarez have come on and done really well today. Charging down the line, takes on his man, beats O'Shea like he's not even there. And he's sort of a minor... I hesitate to call it a dummy, but Del Croy already on the floor and then he ends up hitting him. It's going to be a corner to West Ham. Cresswell to take it from our left-hand side. Outswinger. Nodded away. Alvarez at the edge of the box. Hits it! Over. Right. Go grab that bell. Right. Trying to play the ball forward. So Foul misses out on it. Audi, I don't even know, man. There's stuff I like about Aged, but like defensively this season he's been all over shot. But he honestly, the guy's walked past him. Like he actually just walks past him. It's going to be a throw-in or free kick to Burnley. I can't tell. They're going to get a yellow card, but it's not pulled back. West Ham come forward. There's going to be a yellow. It has to be, surely. Sanderberg. Sanderberg gets yellow. I mean, he literally grabbed Jarrod Bowen and jumped onto the floor. like it was about as aggro as possible. I wish I'll try and find it for you now. I actually genuinely don't remember. Let me have a look. What's the company called? I think you can get it from other places, but the actual company? Not sure. I think the company is called Province 5. Try province5.com. Big things across. Could have said the far post, can't quite get it. I think it's called Province 5. Province5.com, I believe, is the company that do it. They seem to have other ones on there as well, so I think it is them. But I think you can get it from other places as well. I think you can get it from other places. Right, here we go. Facts. I don't know if I can... I don't know if the chat will let me spam this, but there you go. There's the link if you need it. Played across. Can't quite get there. Corner doesn't work. Mavropanos doesn't win the header. Foul on the far side. Picks it up. Hit off the cross that hit off the bar from the deflection. Oh, we're getting so close, but I think I'm going to miss out. I'm getting so close, though. Cullen lays it out wide. Fofana. He was up against Cresswell, so he doesn't try anything because he's not a Ged and he knows he won't beat him. Awfully done from Brownhill. Alvarez collects it. Flick onto Paqueta. Down to Kudus. This is nicely done. Kudus charging forward now. He's got Mikel Antonio ahead of him. Asenyon, I tell you what, beats Kudus both for pace and Asenyon, I don't know why he's done that there. Silly from him. I did see Annie Dings. I did see him there. Lurking. Pinged forward. Asenyon goes down. Offside flag. I mean, Kudus was about a mile offside, to be fair. $12 minutes, 11 minutes plus stoppage time. Game's still there for the taking. Game is genuinely still there for the taking. Again, if you told me this ended 2-2, 3-2 to us, I'd believe you. If you told me it ended 3-1 to Burnley, I would believe you. The game is still there for the taking. It's just about actually taking it. Obviously an incredibly ridiculous thing to say, but it's true. Jeroboam does well. He's so much better on his right-hand side, man. Cuts inside, little stumble from the Burnley defenders. It's going to be a free kick somehow. Don't really understand how. They're very happy about it. Jeroboam is so much better on this right-hand side. He's literally causing all kinds of problems. He's causing all kinds of problems. Souček bounces it forward. Apparently Danny Ings is about to come on. I saw him warming up. Fofana fouls Mavropanos. Honestly, if Danny Ings is coming on, game over. We've lost 2-1. I can't lie. Wild. Yeah, Danny Ings is getting ready to come on. Curtis does well to drop deep. I can't honestly, if we kept this 11, maybe switched it around a bit with someone else or whatever, I don't know who. Bring on Johnson or some nonsense. Oh, that's not a bad ball over the top to Antonio. Can't get the shot. Can't get the shot away. Souček. Paquetá does brilliantly. Ball over the top to Antonio's awesome. He maybe could have taken it first time. It would have been difficult. Yeah, listen, I don't know what subs we could make at this moment in time. I think what we have on the pitch is working. I'll be real with you. I've got no idea what he's thinking bringing Danny Ings on. Got no idea whatsoever, unless it's at this point just rest players for Thursday. Jeroboam does well to try and stop that. Can't quite manage it, but he does well. Forget. What? David Moyes has taken off a Gerd and has brought on Danny Ings. We have gone free at the back, ladies and gentlemen. Or have we? Cresswell might have just moved over to centre back, maybe. Or Alvarez moves to centre back. I'll be honest with you. I don't know, but Danny Ings is now on. I mean, I still think we won't win because Danny Ings has just walked onto the pitch. I still don't think we'll score now. But what? Burnley. Look, they need the win. They're desperate for it. You got to respect it. Listen. I think there are many ways to describe a lot of things David Moyes doing. Taking off a centre back and bringing on a striker. I don't know if you can accuse of being parking the bus. I don't know if you can accuse that of parking the bus. There are a lot of things you can accuse David Moyes of. I don't know if that's one of them at this moment in time. It's going to be another yellow card. I don't know who for. Alvarez and Cullen are having a mid-argument here. Brownhill's also involved. Paquetá shouting at Cullen. I don't know who it's going to be for. Is it for? It's for Paquetá. The yellow card's for Paquetá. I think there's going to be another one in the opposite direction as well to, I think, Brownhill. So Paquetá and Brownhill both coming off. Oh no, it's Estev. It's not Brownhill. I think he's I'll be honest, I mean, look, Estev literally just backhands Paquetá, but I think Paquetá maybe gets a yellow because of the reaction he had screaming at people potentially. I honestly don't know. It's going to be a free kick and deep. Mavropanos to take. Paquetá's asking for it. Mavropanos is going to take it. Paquetá's like pointing at himself. He wants the ball. Long ball forward from Mavropanos. Looking towards the back stick. Thomas Souček's there. The header doesn't come off. Lays at the feet of Mohamed Kudus. Tries to cut inside over the top. Paquetá was there. I don't think that volley would have come off, but Paquetá was there. Soufal again fires it back in. Header bounces up. Trafford collects. and goes down, of course. Again, look, they're desperate for the points. 10, 15 minutes ago, it was really annoying me. Now I just find it quite comical what they're doing, to be honest with you. He ends up booing it long. Mavropanos does well to win that header, simply. Or laid out quickly as well. Nice work there. Paquetá being dragged around there by both Brownhill and Cullen. Like both of them at once. Paquetá receives it short from Mavropanos. Lovely chest down. Danny Ings is there. Danny Ings! He scored! Danny Ings has scored! I take everything I've ever said back about Danny Ings. I take everything back I've ever said about Danny Ings. Antonio with an unreal assist. Chesting it down. First time to Danny Ings. That's obscene. That's obscene. He gets pinged forwards and just the chest is beautiful. And then the flick over Trafford is lovely from Danny Ings. How Antonio has managed to chest that one down for him, I will never know. I didn't know he was capable of doing it. I'm hearing the word VAR. The dink over the top is really nice from Paquetá. The chest down. He said potential offside for Mikel Antonio. I mean, it was tight, I guess. I don't want to look at chat because I know you guys will be like 20 minutes ahead of me. I'm seeing the words possible offside on the VAR screen. I mean, I guess Antonio was close. I didn't notice it myself. My God. Okay, right. We're in pixelated territory. He looks onside to me, but I don't know where you would judge it from. He's been claimed offside. Well, the good news is I don't have to take back everything I've ever said about Danny Ings. I'll be honest with you. Don't think that was offside. Like, I back the VAR, whatever it is, what it is. It's offside by the letter of the law. It works the way it works, but I don't know how that's offside. I don't know where they're judging it from. What can you do? What can you do? Paquetá tries to flick it over the top. Right. 2 minutes plus stoppage time to go. I honestly don't know where they check it from. They are judging it from the sleeve. Ariola, I've got no energy left. I'm worn out at this side. Charlie, read the chat. I am now. Oh well. Beautiful. Listen, ignoring the fact it's not counted, beautiful build-up. The dink in from Paquetá, the chest down from Antonio, beautiful stuff. The game, whatever, man. I'm done now. I'm done. I've lost all my energy. Gone. CBA. Was I meant to push this thing live? Is something I was meant to do? Should probably do it now. Bowen on the ball, plays it out wide to Kudus. Looking for Antonio, can't find it. Paquetá shot from range goes wide. Let me change the score on this one. I just realised Gio's not around, so usually when Gio's not around, I put the review live, and I haven't done it yet, so. Kudus lays it short to Paquetá, who shot from range just wide. Just wide, trying to bend it in with his left foot from range. Need to change this timer because it's off now. I'm like 15 seconds behind that. How much stoppage time are you saying? It's got to be quite a lot. I mean, they've spent most of the second half on the floor, so it's been like playing against 11 Neymars at times, so you'd have to imagine it's got to be a significant chunk of time. Cresswell can't get his head to it. Fofana. Alvarez again diving in, man. He's so good. Fofana. He managed to get in behind, but I don't know what happens. Is that 6 or 8? 8. 8. Bloody hell, 8. Well, we might actually be able to get in this one. Getting like a million messages right now. Pinged across. Kudus can't get there. Cresswell. Well, I'd like to congratulate whoever Kudus pings it across. Danny Ings! It's Danny Ings in the goal. I said because I looked down and my card said 2-2. So I was like, have they just not updated it or what? Danny Ings gets it. I retake back everything I've ever said about him. I retake back everything I've ever said about Danny Ings. I've been spoiled by flipping match bingo. Oh my lord. We've scored. Danny Ings controls it down, spins round and smashes it home. Kudus does well to beat Asenyon. He does really well to beat Asenyon. The cross in is poor. It takes a deflection. I don't know. It's not. Listen, it's not something you're ever going to write home about. It's a big old deflection, but Danny Ings controls it on the turn and then backwards spins around and smashes it home. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. West Ham 2. There's no doubts on offside on that one. There's maybe a doubt off foul or some nonsense, but there's nothing. There can't be any VAR there. I'm putting it in early. 2-2. Big. Let me look at chat. I'm scared. Yes. 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 Oh my lord. It's Danny Ings. Listen, if I can give Mubama his goals, I'm giving Danny Ings his. You know what I mean? Fair play to the lad. Fair play to the lad. Crazy. Shot from range from Burnley goes over. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. It's been a good second half for us. A good second half from us. So significantly better. Two big finale. Big finale coming in. They're making another change. Vitinho coming off for Goodmanson. Ball over the top. Antonio's there. Goes down in the area. That's not foul. I think he's dived a little bit for that one. Jared Bowen trying to work his way through. Antonio's there. Tries to. Oh, so close. I couldn't even get my words out. It was so close. Almost managed to end up in the back of the net. Mikel Antonio went down looking for a penalty the first time around, and I'll be honest with you, I don't think it was one. I think he went down too easily. Bowen collects the ball back, plays it back to Antonio, who just adjusts, lays it open for his left foot. I don't know if it's a shot. I don't know if it's a cross. I don't know what it is. Yes, beautifully tackled for the initial one, by the way. It's definitely not a pen. Bowen does so well off that right-hand side, and Paquetá almost there. 8 minutes of stoppage time originally called. We've got 4.5 to go. Paquetá heads it down. Mikel Antonio can't quite get there. Mikel Antonio charging it down. does well to force the clearance in an awkward way. Kudus gets the ball back, takes it past two. Beautifully done, Mohamed Kudus. He has Antonio alongside him. Asenyon does well to try and stop him. I'll tell you what, I'll be honest with you, he does well. And then it's hooked away from Burnley, but we recollect it. Come on, Cresswell. Short to Lucas Paquetá. Tries to dink it over the top. Thomas Souček's there. Oh my God. Why is this stopped now? Wait, I can check the chat. I see the words off the bar in all caps. I'm seeing the words Ings hit the bar. That's Souček. What's happened with that then? Not now. Not now. Yeah, I know. Oh, it's flipping off all the things. Let's just watch it from here and see if it happens. The playback. Paquetá dink over the top. Thomas Souček, the header on was poor. The header on was very poor. Well, I know that Ings is going to hit the bar in a second, so... Why is it crashed now? This is the one time I need you to work. And every time I refresh it, it goes back to the same thing a minute ago. Oh my God, this is so annoying. This is infuriating. This is infuriating. Bro, I'm further behind than that, Arto. I can't even see it right now. I can't even see it at all right now. I'm just gonna have to leave it and react to the chat because I'm like a minute and a half behind that and it's still not working properly. Yeah, Souček should have taken it down and buried it 100%. Yeah, for some reason, Dean, it's going all over shop. We're 5-2 up now. Don't stress me out like this, Iggy. Right, look, I'm just gonna look, I'm here. It seems to be going more consistently now. We're just gonna have to go from here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not gonna look at the chat because well, I'm not gonna look well, actually I'm gonna look at the chat. I can't lie, because I'm so far behind. I wanna know. Cresswell on the free kick. I've got 3 minutes left. You guys are probably halfway home from the London Stadium by now. Cresswell to take it from deep. Pings it in. Danny Ings volleys it off the bar. Flipping it. I tell you what. Danny Ings. I don't think I'll ever say a bad word against him again. That's a lie. We know the second he gets subbed on in the next game, I'll feel like this. But that's an awesome volley from Danny Ings. I'm seeing the words full-time 2-2. Seeing the words full-time 2-2. Fair enough. Well, I'll watch the end of it as it seems to be over. Tell you what, Danny Ings comes out and recovers that as well. Fair play. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the game is over. Not for me, but it is for you. The game is over. 2-2 is the final score. A big second half from West Ham after a bad first. That first half was all kinds of awkward. But we stepped up in the second half and really looked significantly better, to the point where Danny Ings played well. I know I can't quite believe it either. But that bringing on of Antonio and Alvarez completely changed it for us. Alvarez just having a storming performance in defence midfield. Just completely changing that. And then forward up the other end with Mikel Antonio allowing us to just build up differently. I mean, listen, when we have our best players on, we're significantly better than when we don't. And it's not difficult to say. And even Danny Ings having a big performance at the end there. I don't know how that's happened. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the game. If you are new around here, make sure to subscribe, like the video. Gonzo will be live in just a few moments' time with our live match review, something I will spam in the chat now. getting a long throw from Mikel Antonio in the meantime. Ooh, that's a big shout for handball, no? That's a big shout for handball, no? Well, like I say, the live review will be going. I know it doesn't because I've seen full time, but here is the live review. Make sure to click on that. Go like that video as well. That'll help out Gonzo a huge amount, who's going to be doing it obviously by himself because Gio is at the game. I want to see a replay of that, but it seemed like a maybe potential controversial decision right at the end. But thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new around here. I'll wait until I get to full time. Laid short. Oh, Areola dives in on that one. Big save right at the end from Areola. And mine's glitching out again, so screw it, I'm just going to leave it. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. I massively appreciate you all. I shall see you for the on Thursday for that match. But until then, appreciate you all. And that should have been a penalty. Sorry, I was just signing off. That should have been a penalty. I've just seen the replay of it. Wow, okay. Unbelievable. How that's unbelievable. Right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Appreciate you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Go over to the live match review, Gonzo, right now. He's going to be live in a second. Like that video. Talk about all your feelings on the match. It ends West Ham United 2, Burnley 2. Crazy end to the game. Appreciate you all, and see you next time. Cheers, everyone. Bye. Bye.